place. Yeah, I'm a man with no answers. Yeah, a man with nothing to lose. If the devil takes my soul, then God help you. Yeah, I'm a man with no answers. Yeah, a man with nothing to lose. If the devil takes my soul, then darling, may God help you. Yeah, I'm a man with no answers. Yeah, a man with nothing to lose. If the devil takes my soul, then God help you. Yeah, I'm a man with no answers. Yeah, a man with nothing to lose. If the devil takes my soul, then darling, may God help you.
Coming to you from the award-winning Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge, PCA's 2024 Best of Leaf Midwest Cigar Bar, Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge, it's the Final Third Podcast.
I know. Welcome back to another Final Third podcast. This week sponsored by Butt Drugs in Corydon, Indiana. I'm Rob.
I'm Will.
I'm Scott.
I'm Mike.
I'm Heine.
Heine's got a new disclaimer he wrote for us.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
Let's hear it.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views and positions of the Final Third Cigar and Whiskey Lounge.
It's probably pretty good.
You're covered, Rob. We
I
got
like
you.
I like it.
Yeah, you're now covered for all the dumb shit that we say when we're doing
That's
this
legal
when I
podcast.
say it.
That's a legally binding read right there.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
We're legal.
Because I said so.
Yes.
Because you said so,
Yeah.
it's now legally
I'm a lawyer
binding.
now.
That's a verbal agreement.
Well, welcome to the future, or actually the past. We lost an hour.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're
Rough
drinking
this
coffee
morning.
to get started. This is nice.
Here, here.
Will brought in some Black Rifle bourbon coffee. This stuff is delicious.
It's amazing.
Absolutely
That
incredible.
he found totally by accident,
Yeah,
right?
just completely random. It was the only bag in the store, and it was in the wrong spot. So
No kidding.
It's very, very good.
I know
so
a
if
lot
you
of
do
people
like
talk
bourbon-
about the Black Rifle stuff.
Oh, it's good.
that
yeah.
was great.
Oh, it's
I know
amazing.
around here you can get it at Cabela's. A lot of the stuff at Cabela's, but he found it at Walmart.
Yeah, it's actually in Walmart now.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
all Walmart should technically have it.
Yeah.
But
Hey, can we talk about the cigar and
Yes.
then talk about
Yes, we
bourbon?
need to get
'Cause I
started.
need to smoke and drink.
So we're going to start off, because we do have some rums and some other things. We're going to start off with the Laranja Reserva, the little Corona. This one's going away. I think I may have the last of what's left around here. But we'll start off with this one, more of a medium body smoke with that Brazilian wrapper that brings out some orange notes. So we'll be starting with that one, and then we'll get into another cigar later.
Absolutely a little orange on the cold draw.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no question. Yeah, but it's also got some kind of nice cedary type.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I'm lighting with my new cane lighter.
Yeah.
Thanks to Oliva bringing that in. The
Those are
Oliva
cool
brand.
looking.
Yeah, I'm actually looking to find out what the model is so I can see if I can get some ordered for the shop. Get the logos on them.
If I
There you
buy
go.
another lighter, my wife's going to kill me. I'm going to have to hold off for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm on a purchasing freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not on a purchasing freeze. She's just like, every time I turn around, there's a lighter somewhere. It's
Yeah.
on the counter.
I found
it's
mine
in
finally.
the bathroom. You got 3 of them sitting on the porch outside, you know.
I went
And then
out.
what I do, I'm like, where's my lighters at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
It's like, they're everywhere.
So this is actually a tribute to, or a tribute, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but to Cyclone lighters, the Lotus Cyclones. Those are Vertigo Cyclone. They those things just last forever. They're really good lighters. They're $12 lighters. We got them here to sell. I had one out on the patio over the winter, sitting on the table, snow covered, all the things. Went out there the other day, lit right up.
Yep.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you because I bought one brand new and it never lit.
The Vertigo? Do you buy it here?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I bought it at the shop in Louisville. But
Well, I will tell you, there was a time frame that they had a really, really bad run of them.
that's what I bought.
The new ones are back to being like the old ones.
I
at least
love the
so
way
far.
it looks. And
Yeah.
like it's a nice triple jet. And it lit like the first time and then after that it was just like it just didn't work.
I mean, people buy 2 or 3
But it
of
was
those,
like
have one in the
$9.
car. Yeah.
it was like $9. So
They're
I was
up
like,
to, I think, either
I'm not gonna
11 or
complain.
12 now, but that's still not bad for that lighter.
I didn't want to bitch about it. $9 is $9.
Yeah, I have lighters scattered all over the
Yeah, I mean
everywhere.
half the time
Yeah,
you leave them
yeah.
here.
I do. True.
Yeah.
Or takes my
along
cutter
with your
home.
Or takes it home.
readers
Yeah.
This
is
coffee
amazing.
totally overruns this cigar. You have to let the coffee like get all the way through its finish.
So we may
Dude,
need to chug
and
our
then
coffee and
take
get into
a-
some
I'm about to
whiskey.
chug this coffee. It
And then
makes
take
it
a
very
puff.
nutty.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It does.
Like walnut.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Because this is not a nutty cigar.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah.
Dad joke of the day.
I do.
I'm doing my part.
There's like nice chocolate notes in this coffee too. That I
The
think
coffee
are
is
really-
awesome.
yeah.
And I feel like it could go with many, many cigars. And it's not that it doesn't go with this one. You just have to let it completely finish off your palate. Because I like took a sip and then we immediately went in and took a puff and I'm like, well, there is no cigar there.
Right. I think it
just took
takes
a puff
away
on
the
nothing.
best parts of the cigar.
Yeah. But if you do let the coffee, kind of finish out 15, 20 seconds, then take a puff, then it blends a little better.
Yeah.
So shout out to Black Rifle. You know, if you
Shout out,
you want to do some work with us,
you're looking for a
we're more than
sponsorship.
happy.
I mean,
would
we're
love
looking
that.
for your sponsorship.
Yes,
Yes.
we'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please. Give us all your coffee. We'll drink it. We'll talk shit about it.
Yeah, the only
Or let
place
us
I've
come hog hunt
yeah,
from
the
a
only place
helicopter.
I've seen it is Peerless. I was telling you, I seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
At the Peerless Distillery gift shop.
Yeah.
But shoot, man, if Walmart's got it.
Yeah, Walmart's got it. I think Myers got it.
I saw a commercial for it. I'm pretty sure on like TV I saw a commercial.
You can get it
for
on Amazon too.
You know what the-
I get the 84 count
Yeah.
K cup delivered to the house. So.
The first commercial I saw for them, it reminded me of one of those like tactical sunglass commercials. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Really low quality production. Just some dude beating the shit out of some sunglasses and like, these are tactical. They're great. And it was
You
like
should
the same.
buy 'em.
The first time I saw the coffee one, it was like this dude like trekking through the woods and like full camo shit, and I was like, yeah, this is your tactical coffee, and like, I'm not gonna carry it in the woods. I don't have a way
Some
to
of
drink
those
it.
early
you have a-
Black Rifle commercials were the best.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it was
Like the old
great.
Quizno
Had
commercials.
an Uzi coming out there doing crazy shit.
Yeah.
It's
Do
fun.
you have
coffee.
a camo rifle? Then fuck you. This is not your coffee. Black Rifle coffee.
That's good stuff. Will brought some stuff for us to drink. Are we starting with your stuff?
Yeah, let's get this
Start
rum.
with the rum.
Let's get this rum out of the way. So,
Hey,
these
we
are-
like rum.
These are two
Sometimes.
exquisite rums
Exquisite
that were distilled in Antigua.
from the
One
King's
was
collection.
distilled by yours truly.
There you
Oh,
go.
this is
Oh,
bad
this is
boy.
what the one that you
And
did.
one was distilled by my lovely wife, Becky.
This is
Oh,
awesome.
very cool.
Okay.
So these are unaged rums. So they're either about an hour old.
Nice.
And then they're flavored with neutral grain spirit flavors.
Okay.
Okay, no sugar, but flavored alcohol.
I like that.
Interesting.
All right.
So did you
So-
distill it to neutral grain, or you just distilled it to like a rum?
These neutral grains were already pre-distilled. I
Okay.
didn't do those. They were flavorings you could add in. So we're gonna start
That's
with number.
interesting.
We're gonna start with number one.
Okay.
Number one.
All right,
Gotcha.
start with number
Let's
one.
do it.
As we all reach for our number ones.
Number one.
All right.
Fruity.
Smells like the ocean.
Like the ocean. The ocean. Huh.
Smells bright and fresh.
It does smell like.
I will promise you this will not kill you or make you blind. Okay. So
I mean, it smells kind of like Bacardi white rum.
Almost smells like pear.
Actually, it tastes. There's pear in the taste. A lot of pear for
So
me.
is one yours or is one Beck's?
I'm not saying yet.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna let you
okay.
guys decide which one you like better between one and two.
That's a good call.
okay?
I do get a lot of pear in this.
This could be the worst rum I've ever tried.
I apparently haven't
So
tried a
this
whole
is
lot of rum
Becky's.
then.
No, I'm not saying it. Yeah. So that's
I'm
one.
getting a bit of a strange turpentine flavor on the finish.
You have a clue what the proof is on these?
Have you ever licked your fingers when there's paint on it?
Number one is 100 proof.
Okay.
Did you
Number
paint chips as a
two
kid?
is
I did
probably
today,
around
actually.
86 proof. A little
Okay.
lighter on the proof on number two. Yeah.
Yeah, I got paint on the baseboards this morning, and I licked my finger to like wipe it off, and realized I had paint on my finger.
Ah,
That's the taste that I'm getting.
you're getting
Your
Yeah.
palate was set.
Yeah, I calibrated with paint this morning, so.
You know, proofing it down actually does mellow out the flavors and spreads them out a little bit more.
now. Two tastes totally different than one.
Yeah.
I think. Two has more of that raisin spice kind of thing going on.
I think it does what rum's supposed to do. The other one maybe had a little bit too much proof to
I
it.
haven't even tasted two yet, but I already feel like that's Will's because he's like talking it up a little bit.
What you mean? Oh, rum.
Well,
It's got more raisin.
It does what it's supposed
no
to.
one will.
Get
It
you
could
drunk.
be the exact opposite of that too, because
Right.
he'll shut on himself
man.
too. So
Yeah, remember Will didn't like his own blends earlier.
So
This is
The aroma's a little different.
a little softer.
Yeah, it's way soft.
This
It's
is-
also a
this
lot
is
less
oaty.
ethanol. Huh?
This is. I feel like this has some oaty qualities to it,
yeah.
Like oatmeal?
like oatmeal.
Like cinnamon raisin oatmeal?
Maybe some rolled oats.
Jackass. Some rolled oats over there? Huh? You getting some oats?
hey guys, I get oatmeal. I don't know about you.
No, none of us got oatmeal. You're crazy, Scott. Fine.
You idiot.
We're gonna bring in the traveling oatmeal packet. Whoever says oatmeal has to wear it around their neck
Wear
for
it
the rest
around
of
the
the
neck.
episode.
Take
I
a
like
shot.
that.
So this was a fun thing. I just thought it'd be funny to do.
The 86
Like,
proof is better.
these are sucky rums, but they're it was something fun that we did in Antigua, and I told Becky, I said, well, let's let the guys be the true determiner of which is the better rum, so we can lay this debate to rest.
Two.
Two. Yeah, two is better.
Two almost has like a, you know, those iced molasses or oatmeal cookies.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
The back of the throat reminds me of those.
He said it too.
I know. I know.
I love
I
those
do think
cookies.
it's.
Yeah.
I actually, that's a great call because, yeah, it is
I don't know
definitely
if it's
Creamy
the
like
sugar.
that.
oatmeal or if it's the molasses cookie, but I remember that
Yeah.
finish.
It's like you
Is
take
what
the
that
cookie
reminds
out
me
of the
of.
bag and then you lick the bag.
Yeah.
So
Taste the biscuit.
number 2, the winner by consensus here,
Yep.
is Dummy Rummy by Becky,
Nice.
Nice.
Hey, there we go.
which is proofed at actually below 90 proof. It is
He said 86.
88
right?
proof.
88. Okay.
88.
it is made using maple, vanilla, spice, cinnamon, and coconut flavorings.
Yeah.
All right.
She was making a candle.
Yeah.
That's exactly those cookies. The maple
Yeah.
cinnamon coconut with
Yeah.
the frosting
Vanilla.
on it. Yeah.
Mine was named. Somebody named this, and it wasn't me, but it says eating anus.
What's
And
it say?
It says eating anus.
Best game.
I don't know who wrote that on my bottle, but
Eating
some jerk did. And this is 100 proof.
Well, you got that nutty finish, didn't you?
It's made using. So I went crazy. I used vanilla, coconut, almond, maple, spice, star anise, banana, mango.
Wow, you just
man,
went,
you
you
just
just
like-
went in there.
I went in there. and It's terrible.
Well, way to go, Peck.
Yeah.
So congrats, Becky. You win. Now we can dump these down the
Yay.
drain.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna finish that.
Surely there's
please
some. Well,
don't.
didn't you say like your daughter's going to be 21 soon? Just pass them off, man.
Pass them off to them.
Yeah. 21-year-olds love cheap liquor
I thought you said
or
dog.
bad liquor. I mean, I don't know if it was cheap. It's
It's like
probably whole
that
experience.
dude's
but-
gonna die.
Yeah, dummy rummy, man. Dummy rummy for the win.
Congratulations, Becky.
Congrats, Beck. You know how to make a rum better than Will.
100%.
Way to go.
That's fine, because remember, Will's getting stuck on vodkas here soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
And
Ascot
speaking
taster.
of that, this is the last week you can enter into the Ascot Awards. March 14th is the deadline.
Yeah.
So I will be getting samples here probably at the end of the month or the first week of April. And
Love
I'll
that.
Start plowing through them. Yeah.
Cool.
So
They're just gonna send you Wheatley.
Rough day at work, huh?
yeah, no, 50 samples and then any more that I can take on after that. So
Are you just doing vodka? Or are you going to be going forward and doing whiskey as well?
I think I'm do a little bit of everything.
Gotcha.
Actually, when they told me I was going to get would be bourbons, rye, and tequila. So
So I kind of wonder about vodka because, I mean, I don't know. I was young at one point and drank plenty of vodka, but to me, it's always kind of the mineral level and like the cleanliness. I don't know that I would be able to pick out specific flavors unless it was like citron
something.
or things like that.
I think
yeah.
that
Is that the point?
That would be a flaw, right?
That you can't
Yeah.
taste it?
If you find any vodka that's got any flavor, then it's quote unquote dirty.
Right.
Yeah.
And depending upon what that is, that could be definitely a penalty.
A negative.
Yeah.
But I don't mind
Yeah.
like because I think you're always getting it to neutral grain spirit and then bringing it down with water to
Yeah.
get to proof.
Yeah.
And so to me, like anybody could make neutral grain spirit, take RO, water, and you should have, relatively speaking, the same product, right? But to get something that tastes clean or fresh or really hits the palate nicely, I think a lot of it would be about the water build more than anything else.
I think a couple things. I think number one, if you're distilling on a column versus a pot, you're already going to be at advantage on a column because you're going
Always,
to have
yeah.
a cleaner spirit coming out. You do pot still vodka, I'm sorry, it sucks.
It's a bad
Number
idea,
two,
yeah.
how many times are you going to distill it, right? You're going to run it through 6 times, 7 times distillation. It's going to keep getting cleaner each time. And then lastly, your water quality for proofing it down. And are you going to filter it? Are you going to charcoal filter it? You're going to do something else to get it? I mean, there's things to make it clean, but I think the best vodka is probably the vodka you don't taste anything
Right.
and just goes down easy, right? So,
88 time filtered.
Yeah.
right, yeah. No, you see these
Yeah.
obnoxious
Yeah.
10 distillations, right?
Right.
12 distillations. So.
Well, Moondrops has that filtration down there. It's just like,
It's like 80 or
Something
88
like
or
that,
something
yeah.
like that. Crazy, right?
Take
Like
me out.
charcoal filtered. Like,
yep,
It's
Well-
clear.
it is.
When I'm doing like a vodka martini, I prefer Belvedere. That's just kind of my go-to, and it's just got a nice, clean, soft mineral flavor.
JT Mellick makes a rice vodka, and it's not, Mike Frugier will tell you, he's like, I like my vodkas dirty. He's like, so when you taste his vodka, it actually has this real subtle vanilla note to it that's really beautiful. Now, if I'm judging it, I don't know if I would penalize that. If I taste something that I like, how can I say it's bad, right? But if I taste something that's harsh in the vodka, you know, too much corn, right, or things like that, I
Yeah.
would probably ding it. But if I get this like subtle note, I would probably give it a decent score, you know, and
Yeah.
see it go through.
Well, I
Yeah, I
think
don't think
that's
I
the
could.
whole thing with vodka is like that's why you go into a liquor store and you see, you know, a huge long shelf and there's 47 different flavors because that's what it can do, right? It can take on. So if you want vanilla vodka, you like to have a vanilla alcohol base for whatever you you like vanilla Coke. Okay, you can have Coke and vanilla vodka, and you got vanilla Coke with booze in it.
I mean,
Yep.
I really hope I don't get vodka, but I'm prepared to deal with it when I get it. so,
You're just gonna get a pallet of schmallow.
so let's actually
Do they
drink
do
something.
all? Do they do all spirits? By the way, they do tequila and.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
spirit.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get tequila. That would be.
Obviously, tequila, gin. I don't know if they do rum. They may not do rum.
Rum has no rules. That makes it really, really difficult.
Did you have a single malt category?
We do.
Okay.
Yep.
I was
There
gonna
is
say
single
with the
malt
new
category. Yep.
new updates, be curious what that's gonna look like next year.
So we're about to pour some real.
Let's pour
So
something
what
really
what all
good.
did you
Some
bring?
real
Because I
stuff.
brought the Whiskey Gypsy, which is
Oh.
86 proof. You want to start with that one?
We should definitely go.
Let's
Whiskey
start with that
Jypsi
one.
first.
All right,
Yeah,
crack
I
that
forgot.
one, Will. I'll read the letter here. So it was funny because you were talking last week. What was the bottle that you brought that was the distilled for, or corn grown for distillation? What bottle was that?
The Wood Hat.
Wood Hat.
Wait,
Okay, so that's what this
the
is.
orange corn.
So this is Whiskey Gypsy's new release. It's called Tribute. And let's see. The company contracted with small family farms willing to grow more flavorful varietal stated grains specifically intended for making whiskey. Sustainably raised grains for Tribute include a variety of the once sacred Cherokee white corn. So that's what this is. This is Cherokee white corn.
I mean, is there an Iroquois white corn?
$44.99 for a 750.
Just crossed right over there.
They were more hunters.
86 proof.
They weren't gatherers.
This
like
is
the Cherokee were.
a minimum 4-year and double barreled in New American Oak. Cool.
Nice.
So shout out to Ari and the whole crew at Whiskey Gypsy for getting us hooked up with this. Came in the mail the other day.
Wonder what makes it
So-
Cherokee corn.
The land,
Where it was grown.
probably, I would imagine.
Maybe
Has
it's
to be a certain
maybe it's
region
an
to be called
actual
that.
corn that the Cherokee Indians actually grew.
Could be.
an
I'd have to
heirloom.
ask. Yeah, I mean,
I almost think that would be it.
They
Yeah.
just pulled a trailer with a Jeep Cherokee.
a white Jeep Cherokee.
Or they're a former
a white
speaker of
A
the
white
House.
Jeep.
A white Jeep
It's actually
Cherokee.
just regular yellow did number 2, but we pulled it with a white Jeep.
Do we have an age statement on this?
Minimum 4 years.
Okay.
86 proof,
Or maybe
double
they're just,
barreled, New American Oak.
maybe
Little
they're just
lighter
a
on the color,
politician
but-
and think they're part Cherokee.
Right, that's it.
I'm 1/1000th Cherokee.
It's got nice, I like the viscosity on the glass.
Being proofed down that much too, there's still a ton of flavor.
I'm surprised
there?
how strong the nose is.
Yeah, the
being proofed
nose
down.
is surprising to me at that proof level. Like it's pulling a lot of caramel.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost got a light, unbuttered sweet corn kind of taste to
Yeah,
it.
there's the grains.
Haven't tried
popping
it yet.
through.
I can see the caramel. Sugary for sure.
I see the corn note that you're talking about. I especially like how you put that unbuttered sweet corn.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's what
Right
we got
fresh
out
off
of
the
the Wood Hat
cob.
one too, was like a creaminess that came out of that one.
yeah, yeah.
That we thought was more like,
Didn't it have like
mallowy.
a cornbread,
yeah, it was like cornbread quality.
You know when you
Not
shut,
oats.
but it was buttered.
Buttered.
Yeah, this I agree with the unbuttered. It's
Yeah.
more,
The
yeah,
sweetness of the
like
corn.
when you're shucking.
yeah, I was just saying,
Sweet
when you
corn.
shut corn, you get that same aroma.
Or almost like a corn pop.
Hey, look at that! Jackie's ICANN taught us something after all.
That your
Nice.
taste buds are wrong.
I'll tell you,
very
The tongue map is a lie.
this one
Printer
makes me
paper,
think it's
high
going to be
white.
it would be really good release for across the board. The whole table could enjoy it. Someone that wants something lower proof's going to enjoy it. Someone likes higher proof, still going to enjoy the flavor notes in this thing.
And it's very nice with this cigar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so
Actually,
the
it's like it
first
really
two,
works.
the original, what was it, the Discovery or whatever that bottle was that they sent us the first time was like $199. So
Yep.
like this is a much more affordable one at $44.99.
44?
for
Nice.
$7.50.
Good
so
for them.
Oh, I'd definitely get
Yeah.
a bottle of this for 44.
86
Yeah.
proof, $44.99. I'd buy this.
Are they distributing here? Or you can buy it on the website.
Because right now you
they're
can do it
online, yeah.
online.
We're working on it. Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to get Will in touch with
Good.
Ari's team.
Oh,
And
yeah, I remember that now. Yeah.
Focus on the mouthfeel for a minute.
Yeah.
Because even though like the nose and the palate both come with like the unbuttered, it does have a buttery
Texture.
palate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. On
I
the,
wonder
on
if that's the
texture.
oils in it that's making it so viscous on the glass.
I would tend to think that's the case. Yeah. This
Very-
is
it's quite-
this would be like I had a late night, but I didn't get too messed up on a Saturday. I wake up on Sunday. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning because I slept in. The sun's up. It's about 70 degrees. I go out and grab a cigar and one of these.
Yeah.
86 proof.
Hit the retro and tell me
I
if it
did.
doesn't spice
Get a
your-
little
I
bit of
absolutely
citrus.
got the spice.
It's really
Yeah.
cute how you slept in till 10.
But hey, that was 9 o'clock, right?
Like I
Remember,
said,
we lost
technically,
an
I
hour
slept
of our
until
lives.
10. I just
Yeah.
didn't realize that 10 was 11 now.
I'm just talking about every day for me.
Right. True.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
come to 5.
Yeah, the cigar works well with this. They're not really competing with each other.
No.
They're kind of pair well.
I get a little bit of citrus on the finish, but
From
still,
the like
from the whiskey.
from the
It's-
whiskey. Okay.
It still is more caramely and sugary, but
Yeah.
I get a little bit of
Are you
citrus.
getting it from that, or are you getting it as a post?
No, it's
from
definitely
the-
this first.
Okay.
Yeah. I think together it still gives me a little bit of caramel, but
The cigar actually, I think, intensifies the caramel a little bit more.
I think so.
But it also gets that cream when you retro. It gives you that creaminess out of it too, which is really nice.
Very sweet.
Yeah,
Very sweet.
I like it. It's good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice job, guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice
Way to
job.
go, Whiskey
Shout out
Jypsi.
Ari. Good job, man.
So I'm going to call out the elephant in the room right now. A certain member that's sitting out here right now, his name is, we're not mentioning his name, but his name is Jay.
It starts with a J.
It starts with a J, and actually it is Jay. He did prove that the birds are out. Yesterday, he gets out in the sun. Bird shit right on his head.
Oh, Jay.
Bummer, Jay.
Bummer, man.
I've been there, man.
Cigar. They don't like cigars apparently. So
I've been there.
But they do say that's good luck, so.
Yeah. I've been there. I got shit on before.
Yeah, oh,
While
yeah,
We're walking
yeah.
the dogs.
Yeah.
Just right on top.
My dad was at a magic show, and the magician released a pigeon, and
Oh,
it flew
no.
out across the crowd and shit right on his head.
Oh, man.
The magician looks at him and goes, ta-da!
For my next trick.
for my next trick, release an elephant.
Yeah, this is solid. I'd buy this. Everyone needs to
Yeah.
go try this.
I agree.
Yeah. This would
So
be
is
a
this?
bottle worth picking up.
They ship, don't they?
They do to most states.
most states,
I
not
believe.
all, but-
yeah, there's a few that are excluded from shipping,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
I
beer-
think we're one of them that are not.
Yeah.
Bearded Bourbon did a review too.
Yeah, shout out Logan.
Logan did a review, and he's with us on this. I know he said it was definitely.
Yeah.
I was worried about the proof. He's like, no, man, it holds up, and
Same.
he's
Yeah.
right. I agree
Yeah,
with it.
same.
Well, we invited him to come on, but he wasn't able to come on today and talk about it.
We got to get him back out here sometime.
Yeah, Logan.
Yeah, Logan. So come join us. We'll get you out here. We'll do some stuff. Maybe Mash Bash again. I don't know yet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah. When is that? Do you have the date for that?
No,
Let me look it up.
look it up because I can't remember what the date was.
Great job.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
welcome.
want to try and make sure I don't have anything else on my calendar because I was there for the show and then had to
Yeah.
bolt pretty
Well,
quick.
okay, so since we're talking about calendar, might as well go ahead and talk about that. Coming up April 5th, we have the Aladino event, which is the March Madness Final Four event. That'll be a great day to come out and stock up on some of your spring cigars because the Aladino boxes will all be on sale. Trey will be bringing out some swag, and we'll also have some free cigars there that day too. That's going to be a really fun day. We'll also be doing a basket, so everyone gets tickets to win a Aladino basket. So it's going to be really awesome. Next Saturday, March 15th, we will be out at Harrahs Hoosier Park. That's
Yeah.
opening weekend, so Friday's the opening day. But we'll be out there Saturday recording a podcast and hanging out, betting on horses, and having a lot of fun again. We're excited to get back out to the track this
Are we
year.
going to take the speaker and like broadcast it?
I don't
I
know.
probably would doubt that.
Yeah, they may not.
Because I know
like
like when JMV's out there, he does.
Well, they've actually said this year that they wouldn't mind us punching into their system and be able to broadcast it throughout.
Okay.
We'll have to talk to Tony and see if that's a possibility, and Jacob and all those guys, find out what the possibility is that.
Call Tony. Tony or Gene, if you guys are listening, call me
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock. Not right now.
So they got the
Oh,
Mash
you can
Bash.
call in on the show. It's fine.
Or call now, whatever.
Mash Bash is scheduled for
June
June 7th.
7th.
Saturday, June
June
7th.
7th. Okay.
Yeah. We have a tough decision to make on that day
Yep.
because me and you are supposed to go get our tattoos finished that day.
Oh.
So we can postpone that and do Mash Bash.
Yeah. Let's do that.
You guys get matching tattoos or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Titty
Yeah.
dragons.
Yeah.
Nice.
Matching titty dragons.
Nice. So
No, I
basically,
gotta
all he
get
has to do
my-
is get the same thing you
I
got.
gotta get
His
my
name.
IMS flags filled in.
Filled in.
color.
Yeah. I was just going to get
Yeah.
opposing titty dragon, I guess. I don't know.
I was talking to my kids this morning. We went to brunch about filling in my arm, and they're like, "Dad, hang it up. You're done."
No way, dude.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I was so
That
sad.
sounds like a challenge.
That
Sounds
is
like
a
you need the
challenge.
other arm done now.
I said, well, my middle daughter Grace, she's super talented artist, and she's like, I said, well, if I change my mind and will you draw something? She's like, it's gonna be bad, Dad. I'm gonna make it purposely bad if you make me draw it. I'm like,
Wow.
yeah,
You're gonna put it on
there's
and
no love here.
You're gonna put it on
Yeah.
and show people and be like, my
Yeah.
daughter drew this. Oh, how old is she? 30.
Yeah, there was a couple of young people coming here, and they said, "Oh man, I like your tattoo." They said it's so cool how a lot of you old people are getting tattoos
Oh,
now.
no.
I'm like, oh, dude, come on.
Ouch.
Slam.
All right, well, what are we moving to next, Will? I know you brought some other stuff for
Yeah,
us.
I've got 2 ryes and a bourbon. I think we should go with the bourbon, which is the first one there, Will. Yeah. So this is the new line that Penelope came out with, the Estate Collection. And I haven't obviously tried all of them. They're pretty hard to get, but I found this one. This is, I can't remember if this is D as in David or B as in boy, honestly, but this one was the one I was told to get. So,
Okay.
is it an 11-year, Will, I think, on there?
Lot B. Oh, Lot E.
Lot E.
248 and
yeah.
947.
So it wasn't B or D.
Yeah, Z. Yeah, I don't remember.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's got
There's a
some
lot.
good color on it.
Yeah.
Lot
I think it's
E,
great, though.
As an elephant. We're doing.
I feel like they're trying to make a statement by having a bottle that looks very similar in size
Yeah,
and
right.
style to
Very fancy.
a BTAC bottle.
Yeah.
But like etched, you got like an etched and then inlaid letter there. That's this is an expensive piece of glass.
It's like even on the label.
Yeah.
There's recessed lines outlining the label in the glass.
So you said this one's a hard one to get. Is that because it's only allocated to certain places,
Yeah.
or is it it's not out for distribution then? Okay.
It's allocated. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I mean, this is what we would expect to see now with Penelope having the keys to the castle
Yeah.
at
Right.
MGP. Yeah, so this is an 11-year. This is actually not a bourbon. I'm sorry, guys. This is a wheat whiskey.
I was about to say
Oh,
this.
okay.
It smells like a weeder.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
it's not bad.
No, actually,
not getting a
like
whole
I
lot
did
on
that
the nose.
I kind of did that in a good way. Like
But
I
the-
was,
I
it's
get that
definitely
wheat.
but-
The color on this is beautiful.
It's got some of those heliotrope nose qualities.
Damn, man, that's really good.
I can tell it's wheat, but it doesn't just pop as wheat.
No, it doesn't, and it doesn't drink like
No, good.
wheat. It's not.
I can smell the wheat in it. Yeah, but
It's not like the larceny level because I feel like
Right.
the larceny barrel proofs they come out really strong, right?
Yeah.
They're like really aggressive, and you're like, okay, this is a weeder, but this is a weeder that punches you in the face. This one is more subdued than that and a little bit more complex. In fact, I'd probably say a lot more complex.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what's the proof on that?
Smooth.
I think it's
Do we say?
I think it's 107.
Liesl's gonna kick your ass now after all the bullshit
Right
she got
around
from
107,
Rob for,
108,
or for
yeah.
Scott from saying smooth.
No kidding. Smooth.
Smooth.
You're just feeling saucy today, aren't you?
You fucking know it, man.
Yeah, I know.
We're not gonna talk about it.
Talking oatmeal and smooth.
Butt
No, it really
drugs.
grinds my gears.
You did say bass earlier, and that's a trigger word for him right now.
Yeah, bass.
You do not want to grind my gears today.
But with that 11-year, you get a nice sweet oak on the
Yeah.
finish too. It really comes through, and I love that, man.
Honestly, it's going pretty nicely with
It's
the
not
cigar too.
tannicky.
No, not at all. No, there is nothing tan style. in here.
I've been talking too much. I had to nurse my cigar back to health.
So that one's kind of new for me. I didn't realize that MGP was doing wheat. I
Yeah,
didn't
when
realize
have
that
you
was one
ever
of the
seen a wheat whiskey from MGP?
Never.
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 Just shows goes to show you that
Yeah, I don't know.
Penelope's got access to some
Everything.
special
Yeah.
barrels now.
Was any
Enough.
of the Remus's wheat?
No.
No?
Remus is all a rye mash bill bourbon. Yeah,
And you said this was what, 11 years?
11 year. Yeah.
Wow.
So based on like the announcements from who was it, Jack, saying that they're re-releasing for like the first time in 60 years or something,
Yeah.
and they're doing like the 12 and 14 and all that.
Yep.
And we're seeing
yeah,
more
higher.
and more like, well, like Circle City is getting like, they had all those 9-year barrels from a source to be not
Right.
named, I think.
Those who
I don't
shall not
remember.
be named.
Turkey.
Right. Gobble,
Yeah.
gobble, gobble.
You're right. It feels like with the kind of the demise of the bourbon boom, so to speak, as
Yeah.
everybody says, we're starting to suddenly see older whiskeys come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
They got to
huh,
sell them. They got to sell
How
them.
about that?
Yep.
I'm not seeing very many new 2-year releases or 4-year. I mean, we're seeing some 4-year minimum age statements,
Right.
but it sounds like a lot of the stuff that's starting to come around is having some age on it.
Yeah, and I think that's a trend you're going to see this year with MGP. They're going to focus more on their brands than the contract distilling side. I think they're really going to push the Remus lines, obviously Penelope. These different lots on this estate collection, I think they range from like 9 to 11 or maybe 9 to 13 years. But they're all different ages, all different proofs slightly.
Well,
But I think they're mostly, I may be wrong, I think they're all leaders. May not be though. I don't
Didn't BBC kind of say they were doing kind of the same thing? They were going to focus more on what they had and stop
they're-
bringing in.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. So they've basically, BBC and the parent company that owns Barstown Bourbon Company in Green River have created a new company called Lofted Spirits, and they're moving all of their source contracting under the Lofted Spirits name, so that if you source from from BBC or from Green River, you're going to be actually quote unquote sourcing from Lofted Spirits. You're not going to be sourcing necessarily from one or the other. They want to create that whole different separation from the two individual lines with what's being source contracted.
Sure.
And
Is that so they don't focus their name into everything
Yeah,
that's going on?
yeah, exactly.
They got to separate
That's a
themselves.
smart move.
Yeah, same with like, I say it all the time, like Aganorsa providing people leafs.
Yeah.
And Saga Spirits with the Henderson brothers, like that's, their
Right.
thing now too, is like it's not, well, they sold Angel's Envy, but like Saga Spirits is their new venture. And they're still sourcing stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I wonder if some of that has to do with some inventory control situations where they can transfer inventory from one company to the other. And so as they're picking out what stuff they want to represent their brand,
Are you saying they're laundering bourbon?
it's not laundering. But, it does give you an option there. If you're going to say, okay, well, we're going to be a source and people can come and buy barrels, well, we don't just want them walking through all of our rick houses and kind of saying, oh, I want that one, I want that one.
They pick and
Suddenly
choose.
it's, hey, we're tasting. All these barrels are, solidly kind of in the middle, right? There's not stuff that's bad that we need to let sit here forever or figure out how to mix it in with something else
Right.
and slowly get rid of inventory. It's not the really, really good stuff that we want to have represent our brand. This is stuff that somebody else could take. They could finish it. They could, double oak it. They could just let it sit for another 5 or 6 years after they buy the barrels. And there
Right.
you go. They can just, let it sit.
So I guess the question is, if you were a consumer, right, you're looking at a sourced, non-distilled producer, sourced NDP, and it came from Barstown Bourbon Company, or it came from Green River. Do you have a preference? Like you, I'm asking. Like, would you, if you were looking at it, would you have a preference? Would
BBC over Green
would
River or vice
BBC?
versa?
Would you rather pull a BBC or would you rather pull a Green
I
River?
think I'd probably rather pull a Green River for me.
Okay. See, I don't
Personally,
know. I
I'd
think
almost-
I'd rather pull a
I'd almost rather
BBC.
pull
So
a
I think
BBC.
let's take all that confusion out of it, out of the consumer to have to think about that, and it's all Lofted Spirits now.
Right.
So you're not going to know, I don't think. So,
That's a good point. Yeah. If they put it under that brand, then they may not actually disclose who it's coming from.
they're not going to.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Lofted Spirits.
But that also that does kind of make something very interesting because you're going through and you pick, most time when you're going to pick barrels and you're going to buy some stuff, then they're going to tell you, like, here's 7, 8, 10, whatever number of barrels that you can taste from, right? They give you sample bottles or, depending on the situation, you might go there and you can go and thief directly from the barrel. That's not as common in the big guys, right?
Yeah.
Versus going to small distillers. But, you're going to get a wide variety.
True. And I would imagine if you're going to actually create a blend or create a line, a sourced line, you'll know where it's coming from, but you're going to sign an NDA. You're not going to be able to say. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So going along with that, Diageo in Kentucky has started their annual shutdown. It's an annual thing. I mean, they shut down all the time. They're just ahead of schedule on their shutdown because they're ahead of productivity. So, it's a big headline when you read Diageo in Lebanon has paused production. It's like, oh my God, what the hell happened now?
We're ahead of productivity.
Yeah,
which also means
they're
we're not
matching
selling as much product
goals.
as we were
So
last
is that
year.
Bullet?
Yeah, Bullet.
Bullet?
Yeah.
I mean, the big
Just
one.
do what
yeah.
everybody else does and just set something on fire.
Or push over a Rick
Right,
House.
push over Rick House. Yeah.
We have too much product here. Let me
half
put it
our
in the
Rick
river.
House fell down.
Oh no.
We got to write it off on insurance. And then we're going to
These
sell
don't
the
taste
bottles
very
that
good.
are left.
Oh no.
Maybe I need to call Jack Daniels to solve my.
Hey, how'd you guys do that?
The 2-year-old Rick House. Moving on, anyways.
Yes, yes.
Jen's going to start giving you the look of death.
Yeah. Been a rough week for the bothers.
Yeah.
That's why we're drinking.
Yes.
Well, by the way, what's the next one? Oh, you guys are still going. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want to blast through too fast. We're
I
only
know.
half an hour in.
I
so
know.
So what's the cigar do with this one for everybody?
I think it works. I don't know if it works as well as the Gypsy.
I was
I
going to
think
say
it doesn't
the
work
same.
anywhere near the
but
Gypsy.
I
No.
think I get a lot more of the subtle notes do spice up with that, especially off a retro,
Yeah.
than stood out initially.
I'm getting a lot more cedar in the cigar as opposed to the orange. in
Yeah.
Yeah.
this.
Nose
The
goes.
retro on this is
I agree.
surprisingly aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For as soft as the palate is.
Yeah.
Starting to hit the second, third, and it's definitely it's intensifying for sure.
Yeah, this one, interesting enough, this is actually Eric Espinosa's favorite cigar he makes.
Really?
Yep.
He's not like Guy. He doesn't carry around a knuckle sandwich all day.
No. That'd be a hell of a day, wouldn't it?
I mean, yeah. Every sporting event you see him at, he's gnawing on the latest
Hey,
release.
You know what? He should be proud. He should be proud.
Well, who was it? Tyler was in here this week.
Yeah.
With Espinosa, and
Shout out Tyler
mentioned we were talking about one line of Espinosa, and he mentioned that was it Eric or AJ, somebody that always takes these one boxes of cigars and.
Oh, Eric, yeah.
Which one was it? It wasn't Laranja though. It was a different line we were talking about.
I don't remember which cigar it was, but yeah.
Oh, it was the 601 Greenie, the Oscuro. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I don't remember.
He'll
who
just
it was.
randomly grab like 100 boxes and take them home. They're like, where'd all the boxes go?
He's like, I mean, I'm making them.
They're for me.
Yeah, you own, you own it, but maybe sign it out of inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah,
somebody
they're-
know.
He was talking about they're going to be down at obviously PCA in New Orleans coming up, and
Yep.
Guy Fieri will be down there, and they're going to be having a good old time
Yeah.
around New Orleans.
Well, Tyler's reached out to me. He wants to come on the podcast with us, so
Yeah,
we'll
we
have to
need
set
to.
up a time to get him out here. I'll have to reach out and see what Sunday works out for him.
Yeah, because last year when we were going to have him on, something came up.
Yeah.
So he hadn't been out in a while. Interesting.
Rob, I think you must have partied everybody out on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah. Well, it's
Well, it is
also going
nice
to be
outside.
60 degrees today. I think everyone's like, oh, best day ever.
Yeah. But the wind is
Yeah, we were-
definitely picked up. So
And that's something good. Thank you for reminding me of that. Thank you, everyone that came out. This week we were packed out in here almost every night. Busy week, but it was actually a lot of fun to celebrate our 3 years with everybody. So thanks to you guys for coming out.
hey, who are the basket winners?
Hey, Lisa, can you give me the tickets? I can't remember all the names.
I think I won the middle one.
Winner number one, winner number two,
Everybody was not Jen.
and winner number three.
I do know that the fuel basket went to Amanda.
Yeah.
What's the last name, Lisa? Amanda.
Hug and kiss.
Gaskin. So Amanda is Ernie's daughter.
I'm sorry,
so
but I
she
had to
won
think
that.
about that. They were like, hug and kiss. Oh,
Amanda
Amanda
hug and
hug and
kiss.
kiss.
Yeah, Amanda Huggins.
That was my dad joke for the day.
So Eric Grumbles won the middle basket.
No way, not Eric Grumbles.
Yep. And then
He's got nothing to grumble about now.
Derek Fields
Derek
won
Fields.
the other one.
Shout out Derek Fields.
Congratulations.
So we'll be calling you guys. If
Love
you guys
it.
are listening right now, we'll be calling you guys today.
Yeah.
Come out and get your basket when you're ready.
Because we know you're listening right now.
Yes.
So come get it.
Come get it. Yes.
So the I'm looking through the notes here on this bottle on Penelope's site, and their forward notes came through with caramel syrup, brown sugar, subtle barrel char, hints of butterscotch, and creme brulee. I could see some of those. I don't get all of those. That's pretty wide. It's a pretty wide.
Caramel syrup.
I don't think I got that much sweetness out of it for creme
Yeah,
brulee.
it seemed way less sweet.
I feel like the sweetness comes after you puff on the cigar, and then what's left on your palate.
I
is
do feel
very,
like
very sweet.
The finish.
Yeah, the finish is very sweet.
The sugar seems to crank up on the
Yeah.
finish.
It is kind of that brown sugar caramel.
Finish
on the
said
finish.
creamy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, creamy and savory finish with lingering notes of brown sugar and toffee. I get the toffee.
Toffee, there you go.
I get that
toffee, not caramel. Yeah.
Body was maple. What is
Maple?
wrong with me?
My grandmother, who actually,
Maple buttercream frosting with hints of white pepper and
the
a bit of
maple.
That was her last wish.
my grandmother, who, God rest her soul, just passed 2 weeks ago.
Oh, sorry.
No, it was a good thing.
It was ready, okay.
Yeah, for a couple years now.
Ah.
But I remember as a kid, she used to do homemade caramel syrup for pancakes. Yeah,
Last time I tried that,
It
I
was-
almost caught the kitchen on fire.
it was really, really good. Yeah, but yes, you got to
Stick to
know what you're
rum
doing.
Yeah.
But
Bourbon
yeah,
balls.
I guess I can kind of get that on the long finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of have that nice sweet element to it.
It's a wide variety there.
But even though it's not super high proof, the proof kind of holds throughout, all the way
Right.
through, which is nice.
Yeah, on these aged MGP products, I do get a nice oak.
Yeah.
What you want to call it, barrel char or whatever you want to call it, but it's
But not
Definitely
over.
It's enough.
Not
Yeah,
over
it's
at all,
subtle.
Yeah,
just
it's
right.
enough.
Yeah.
Not over oak, not too much tannins.
Well, and that is you said 11 years?
11
and this
year,
is
yeah.
a weeder, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it must have been-
95.5
That's
wheat
pretty
barley.
long for a weeder. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of weeders don't go that long, and they do tend to get a little bit more tannic once you get to that point. So
Well, especially
good
for
on
the,
them.
You know, the
the
funny
rich
thing
color
is,
as well.
thinking
Yeah.
of like some things that are wheat and in that range, I would definitely drink that all day long over Lot B.
Wow. Well, it's been so long
Seriously?
since I've had B. I
it's been
wouldn't
long for me.
remember.
It's been a couple of years, but I mean that flavor is pretty distinct. But I think that is actually richer.
without a doubt.
Yeah,
I remember
Yeah.
not liking Lot B, but that was like 10 years ago. And like I feel I would give it a second chance just because we've developed our wheat profiles.
quite a bit.
Yeah, a lot. So
You've
I'd
ended
give
the
it another
wheat hate?
shot, but wheat hater.
Yeah, you've
It's
been
kind of
I would-
ridiculous, like that Pappy is still that hard to get because.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be interesting considering that's such a good point. Considering our
How much our palates
our
have
palates
changed
have
over the
changed
last
to
couple of years.
appreciate wheat.
So I would compare this. One whiskey I'm thinking of to be comparable was a couple years ago. Parker's Heritage was a 11-year wheat whiskey.
Okay.
I remember that.
And it's
yeah.
great, but I think this one, I would give this one the edge.
I
I think
would
this
go with
one's
this
a
one.
little bit more complex and has a much richer flavor. I may have some left.
These
Be
are
cool to
recent-
Check the blind these, taste them together.
Yeah,
But
this is a recent Founders release, right? Like this is their new line.
Yeah,
Okay.
this just came out. Maybe the beginning of this year or the very
Okay.
end of last year.
I remember them talking about it. I saw Jack post something about the Founders line,
Yeah.
but I never followed up with like when they were coming out. That's good.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
Jack gets all the good scoop on
Oh yeah,
Penelope.
you know he
because of
does.
Wendy, yeah.
Shout out Jack.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
What was the price point on this bottle? I didn't look that one up.
That's a good question.
It was around 100, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like
For the
109, I
MSRP.
think. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember
Find
where
it,
the
Will.
hell I got this from.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
I've seen him at cons.
Really, cons.
Yeah.
College used to be the place to go
Oh,
for
it
craft
was.
beer in Indiana.
Yeah, yeah.
And they still have a good craft beer selection.
They still do well
Their
in
whiskey's
wine.
not bad, and their wine selection's really good. They have
Yeah.
some really hard to find wines.
Yeah, most of their whiskeys were pricier than others. They were like the liquor world of
They
Indiana.
were, yeah.
They just, they have stuff that is available secondary price.
It's kind of
almost.
surprising that they were really on the ball with the beer boom.
They really were. They
Yeah.
hit it
But,
first.
but they did not catch on to the bourbon boom until
No.
way late.
Yeah.
They were all Dusties.
They are also kind of limited on space for their spirits section.
Yeah. Well, also they opened up that downtown location, and I felt like
I've not
that
been there.
really.
I haven't been to that one yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's an okay location, but like people that are coming into town, they know they can go to cons downtown and get, some special stuff.
And if you're going downtown, you might as well hit Ray up at Rural Inn anyway.
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of options there, but I kind of felt like when they opened their downtown location, it kind of hurt the Keystone location a little bit.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Keystone one in a long time.
Yeah.
I just saw Bourbon Club members posting about it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a
speaking
great pour, man.
Bourbon Club and stuff, the New Harmony, or start, I apologize, not New Harmony, Harmony Liquors, which is out in Brazil, Indiana.
Yeah.
They did a barrel pick yesterday with Circle City Whiskey
Nice.
Company. Drew Black, shout out Drew.
Shout out.
Good
Shout out
job.
And
Drew.
Victor. And they brought a crew in, and so some of the small batch guys, Steve and their sales rep, Corey, who services or covers those guys, and myself, we went out and hung out with the guys and the gals while they picked, went through about 6 barrels, 5 or 6, and they settled on a 9-year Kentucky bourbon sourced from somewhere maybe near Lawrenceburg. And
Gobble, gobble.
I wonder who that is.
it was by far the shining bear. I mean, there were a couple really good ones, but that one was kind of
That
a
9-year
unanimous
specific one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Drew's actually getting his tasting room kind of up and
It's
running,
looking
or
good.
up and going. I don't know if he's got a time frame on it yet, but he's been working hard at it.
Yeah, we got to go see him when it's open. It's looking good. I've been following
Yeah.
his pictures and progress, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
Happy
was,
for him.
they were a fun group to hang out with.
Cool.
And yeah, a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, we
they've
got to.
they had a double oaked Barton that was really surprisingly good. I'm not necessarily a fan of Barton stuff, but
Sure.
that was one that was scored well. They had a Heaven Hill toasted, French oak toasted. That's so delicious, and a regular one,
Nice.
untoasted. Had an 8.5-year MGP that I thought was really good. 12-year rye was really good.
Crazy.
He's got a lot of really good barrels in there. So his Circle City's distillery permit should be functional the middle of May.
Nice.
And hopefully they're open the doors for the public probably, I'd say, early July maybe.
June, July.
Okay.
Nice.
So
That'd be sweet. Yeah,
we'll
I'll have to go
definitely
check it
have
out.
to go maybe do a podcast from there.
I would
Yeah.
love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'd
That'd
be
be
sweet.
great.
I'm sure
Check
Drew
out the
would
new
be
spot.
cool with that.
Heck yeah.
So what else
What
are
are
we
you finding,
drinking
Will?
here?
Well, the 11-year, it's looking like it's coming in at $199.
Is that that's for the wheat one?
For that
But
Penelope
it's not,
bottle?
it's not specifically saying the lot number, and a lot of them say coming soon or unavailable. But I'm seeing varying prices on like Google that range anywhere from $80 to $250.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
geez.
think 109 was the MSRP on
So
that.
probably, yeah, that would make sense at 109 then.
Yeah, because usually Caskers and all these other ones pop up and it's 200, 250.
Yeah, this was $229. The one right next to it's $89.99.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So-
Someone's mismarked their bottle.
It
So-
costs dollars.
What are we drinking next?
I don't know what else is up there.
This,
I'm not sure. I'm not really picking
Yeah.
up on this, but I think Scott wants another thing to drink.
Yeah, I
yeah.
could.
What
He's
do you have
ready.
that's like oatmeal?
Yeah.
I got to drink early and often today because I got to drive to St. Louis tonight. So
Oh, you're driving.
I don't know. We'll see. I might passenger or I might drive. It kind of depends.
So these are the other two bottles are Rise from Nashville Barrel Company, and
We've had some good stuff from them recently.
these are both barrels that were picked at by Club Marzipan during their annual club, inaugural party last year, which we did down at Nashville Barrel Company.
At
You
the
guys will remember
Pickapalooza?
that was Carb Day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I bolted from our
Yep.
podcast at Carb Day and drove down to Nashville.
Yeah.
And that night we picked these two barrels. So one barrel was picked, was the number one barrel for the two ryes that we picked, and one was barrel number 2. And I'm not going to say which one, but Ari and myself and another buddy of ours from the club, Don Prince, we definitely thought one was better than the other. We got voted down by one vote. So we were disappointed. We didn't know if they were going to release that second barrel, and they released that second barrel a couple months ago, and I jumped on the opportunity to grab that barrel because I thought it was excellent. And yeah, I think let you guys try both and see which one you prefer.
That's Ari Rahimzadeh.
Exactly.
Good
All right.
job.
Way to go.
Gesundheit.
Not Ari, that guy.
Sorry, that guy.
But we
All
did
right.
call him Ari, that guy, for a while.
We
Yes,
did.
yes.
I would go with.
We had a 4-minute segment on it.
The one closest to you is an 11-year. So let's go. No, the one closest to you.
Yeah,
that
go the
one. Let's
11
go
and
with
the
that. Let's say
12.
11 years. So let's try that one first. Yeah.
So Rob mentioned the 15th. We're going to Harrahs.
Yes.
We're doing our podcast there. We need to talk to them about getting a speaker in there or getting connected to their speaker.
Yeah, yeah.
Either way, we'll talk to them about that. Also, if anyone's available and wants to come hang out with us on the 14th, some of us will be there the
Yeah.
night before because that's opening day.
Yeah.
So we'll have our suite up top. You can come hang out with us.
Yep.
We can fit a few people up
And
there.
we've talked about it before, but if you go into the horse track side, first you can't go in, kind of curve to the left a little bit past the sports book. Pegasus bar is right there. The suite's right below the Pegasus bar.
Yeah, come hang out with us. We'll be there Friday for opening day. We're going to bet on some horses. I had a thought during race season this year. We should do like a handicapping segment. Just like 10 minutes a week, maybe we'll just.
You say the more we drink, the more handicap we get.
I'm already halfway there, man. So, yeah.
But we'll do a horse segment. So more to come on that because that's kind of what my thought was for race season this year was to, we'll have drivers on periodically. We'll have trainers on with us and owners and, maybe we'll
I'm
just start
looking
doing
forward
segments on
to
Tuesdays.
this racing season.
Yeah,
I
me
am
too.
too.
Like I really love that we did the podcast at the end of the year. Great recognition from, all the drivers and owners, us trying to work with them and promote horse racing and
Yeah.
specifically standardbred racing in Indiana.
Yeah.
And
Got a
I
shout
just-
out at the Standardbred Association Awards.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
that
was
was,
cool.
I thought that was huge. And then to find out that there's just this total, like, non-existent social presence for horse racing.
Yeah.
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 Like, there is just nothing. It is, you can't,
We're
like,
going to fix that.
you want to try and find out about, who thinks what about, particular horses for a particular race? No, X, nothing. There's no Instagrams, nobody's commenting. There's no podcasts. There is like nothing out there.
No,
Yeah,
you just follow
yeah.
the handicapper's notes. That's,
So-
that's
Right,
pretty much
right.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this past Wednesday, we had, and I apologize, Rob, you'll know his last name, but Ernie.
Gaskin.
Ernie Gaskin
Yeah.
was here, and him and his daughters basically did a little presentation on fractional horse ownership.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people that showed up, and I was fascinated by it. Just all the intricacies of horse ownership and what goes into it, and how you can be successful at it and not lose your ass.
Will was racking his brain. We're sitting over there. He was like, I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't get roped into doing this. He's like, I'm
Gotta
going to
give
go
me
way
one more
too far
thing,
in.
right?
Well, I feel like it's one of those things you either have to take very lightly as a fun thing that you're just doing it for fun and not putting a lot of money into it, or you go the other route and you got to go all in,
Yeah.
and you got to be consumed with it.
Well,
to
I think
make
that
it
kind of
work.
split the room because there were certain people in here that were leaning forward in their chairs like, I want to do this. I think I can
Yeah.
do this. And then
Yeah.
other people that were just like, I don't know if I want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
stepping away.
But it was good to see the, especially the number of people that showed up for it.
Yeah, there's quite a few people come in. Honestly, Ernie was amazing. He had so much information, but so did his daughters.
Yeah.
His daughters did a really good job on their presentation, and they're into it just as much as Dad is now. And I'm with you, Scott. I feel like the horse industry is kind of stuck in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
On what they do, they just what worked, and they're just going to keep doing it that way. But now, they gotta get their-
radio and playback.
yeah, to try to get fans out there. I mean, you go out there to the horse track right now, and it's like, man, unless it's a big race, there's not a lot of people watching it. And but it's a blast. I mean, once you go, it's like going to a hockey game.
Yeah.
You go to a hockey game, and all of a sudden you become a hockey fan.
Yeah.
You go out to the horse track once, and you're like, this is actually a lot of fun.
And you go out once and you just have a good night.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
Yeah.
you go out and you enjoy it. You go out 3 or 4 times, and you see the horse out there again, right? I mean, they're racing, every 6 to 8 weeks, they said, I think, on average.
Something like that, yeah.
And you see the driver names and the owner names, and you get a little knowledgeable about it, right?
Next thing you
And
know, you're
suddenly
digging
it's-
through the program, looking at, well, who trained it?
Exactly.
What was
yeah.
it, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
who
Well,
sired,
roped in,
right?
yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know, like, the names are based on the sires in a lot of
Yeah.
cases,
Yeah.
right? So like, the lineage of the horse just by the horse's name.
Except
Well,
for Rob's ass, he did not sire that one.
Correct. Yeah, Rob did
Not yet.
sire that.
Not yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that either.
I wouldn't say yeah. I mean, man, Rob.
No, that's one thing that's kind of wild about horse racing. I mean, it'd be like going to a college basketball game and every stat on every player is in a program for you to see. You go out there and literally you could nerd out for hours on the program,
Just in the numbers.
learning about every horse.
Right.
Yeah.
And they throw it all out
Yeah.
there.
Who was it that we asked him about what he thought about upcoming race or something, and
He said, "Let me
he
see the
grabbed the
program."
program.
That was
And he,
DeLong. That was DeLong.
It was DeLong, and he
DeLong,
just
yeah.
starts ripping off like all this. I'm like, dude, you got all that by looking at this thing in 5 seconds
Yeah.
and commenting on it. I'm like, I don't know how to. I thought I was starting to learn how to
Yeah.
read a program. I obviously still don't know how to read a program correctly.
Well, he was saying that, before the races, they're all getting the program. The program is what they go to actually figure out what
Yeah.
they're doing in the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, so they're getting the same information we get as a fan. Pretty cool.
Even what was it, the starting grid position?
Oh,
they were reading the
huge,
program
yeah.
to base where they put their horse in the starting
Yeah.
grid position based on the stats from previous races.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I know this horse. Look, it always comes out fast,
Yeah.
right? But it's starting from the in position in this race, so probably not as good because it's going to take a while for him to try to move to the inside with everybody else. Even if he does come out fast,
Yeah.
it's a struggle now because you're fighting at the front of the field instead of fighting in the back and coming in fast towards the end of the race.
Yeah.
And all that information is in
All
the
in
program.
Yeah.
You can find it. So
Mid-track
it's
times, everything, you know.
And there's
Yeah.
a key in the front that kind of gives you a breakdown of what everything means on it.
It's still not detailed.
super in depth.
No.
But it can get you started. But then all you have to do is pull aside somebody from Hoosier Park, and they'll walk you through it. They'll talk
Yeah.
about it, and there's so much information I still don't have a clue.
I'm kind of surprised that they don't do like a once a month education.
That would be.
I
really
would
cool.
go. Like,
Yeah.
if it was like, hey, join us for a cigar and bourbon night, and we'll teach you details on how to read the program.
Yeah,
I
horse,
talked to
horse
Tony-
racing 101.
Exactly. It's the same thing as the cigar 101.
Yeah, I
just
talked
for
to
horse
Tony
racing.
and Gene
was
about
like-
that a little bit, maybe possibly doing that on a
I
podcast.
guarantee they would be 100% down for
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
we could record it, and then they could actually, put it up on their social media or wherever the hell
Yeah.
they want to put it, so people could actually go out and maybe learn a little bit
Mm-hmm.
that way.
It's a great idea.
think
That
it'd
could
be
be our
awesome.
segment.
Yeah.
We'll do Horse Racing 101.
Yeah,
I think we'd probably
Harness
have to
Racing
like
101.
digitize so that we could do kind of like a John Madden, screen with drawing
Yeah,
like
with the Piro, we can draw
yeah,
on it.
drawing everything.
And then your horse
drawing,
goes
like,
here, bam.
and since we connected with the Gaskins, we could get maybe one of the two daughters to come
Yeah, that'd
out
be
and
cool.
be on that
That'd be
because
great,
they're
yeah.
super educated on this, and they could actually probably do the entire training themselves.
Yeah, heck yeah.
I agree.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, your horse breaks stride.
Yeah.
How do they determine the starting lane or the lane for the horse? Is that
I
random?
think it was draw.
It was
thought it was-
drawn.
I thought it was
and if-
draw.
It was, you get to
What's
draw
the
to
gate?
pick. You don't draw your gate. I think you draw for your choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, it's just a lottery of, okay, you pick first, you pick second, you pick third, you pick
The
fourth.
gate was 10, right? It's 10
It's
horses,
It's
10 is as
right? It's
many
5
as
and
they
5. But if they had 11, the 11th horse got to
Started-
pick with their starting position. That's
Well,
what
and
he was
because
looking
it's not,
at.
it's so because it's not thoroughbred, standard bred. They also had like if you went over 10, then you started behind.
Behind them, but you don't have to
Yeah.
start at the end. You can pick whoever you want to start behind.
Yeah,
stage
exactly.
Based on-
yeah, you
yeah,
stage
so that's
behind
what
that. So if you're
DeLong
like,
was
oh, I want to
talking
be in the
about.
4th position,
Right,
but I'm in
because
the
he
back
breaks
row.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be in the second gate because I know that horse breaks out fast first, and I
Right.
can tail in behind him, and I don't have to fight through traffic.
Yeah,
It was all
exactly.
that.
Cool.
So yeah, there's a lot of good information there.
yeah, I've got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I want to get in on that fractional. I mean, it was 250, right?
250 was the
minimum.
start.
Yeah.
Was the minimum.
So Lisa won a $500 gift card, and it goes for the October when you
Auction.
actually go out to the auction out at the fairground. So we're going to be going out there. We'll all of us go
Yeah,
out there
heck
for
yeah.
that, and we're going to pick a horse. We're gonna figure out what we want to do, and it's going to be our podcast lounge horse for the year.
Heck
It'll be
yeah.
obviously for the next year, but
Sure.
it's going to be awesome.
One thing I took away from that discussion was, you really need probably get a group of people together, pull in a larger sum of money, and diversify. Right?
Yeah.
Pick 10 horses, 5 horses. Don't go putting all your money into one
On one,
horse. You
yeah.
gotta, it's just like stock market. You got to have diversification
Yeah.
in
Well,
your investments.
Yeah, because what Amanda was saying was
Yeah.
like you could get a dud.
Yeah.
Like,
100%. You
and
will
Yeah.
get it done.
Well,
Like,
not only
it's
that,
probably gonna happen.
so something that I didn't know, they explained that day. So you may have, if you do $250 on that horse, and you have, say, 5% of that horse is the value you have. Every month, you'll still have fees of the training fees, the feed,
Vet, meds,
all
yeah.
this stuff. And they said it averages about $3,300 a horse. So, if you got 10% ownership, it's $330 a month approximately. So it's not just.
So you have to pay the
$250.
costs
You're paying
in
the cost
addition.
throughout the month.
Okay.
So it ends up being a little bit more that way. So that also could be a thing where you want to bring the price down, maybe to that $250 mark, so you don't have so much money invested all year long.
Sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a wise way to do it to start out for all of us is just to do fractional to
Yeah.
get going, and then maybe year 2 we'll look at maybe like a group of 10 or something going into buying a whole
Yeah.
ownership. And
Well,
then having,
if you guys are all looking at it, just let me know because I think
Yeah.
I think I could talk Janelle into that.
Yeah,
I think it'd be
cool.
fun.
I
And it'd be a
don't
lot
need
more
2
fun to go out
kidneys.
when you got
Fine.
right.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun to go out, when it's your horse racing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like that kind of changes everything, right?
well, that's what I said. I was like, well, so if I just have $100,000 and I just buy 8 different horses, and I just they just all race at the same time, I'm betting on one of them to win,
Yeah.
and one of
Yeah.
them's going to win.
Right.
May not be a lot, but it's going to make me feel real good.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Well,
I
and the
feel
good thing is
happy.
that ownership goes for every year, not just that,
Right.
So if
Not,
you
just
stick
not
with
that season.
If you
Yeah.
stick with that horse could have a 6-year, 6-year
Career,
career.
Yeah.
And then,
or you could sell it off.
and then they could always sell it off, and it become a sire or whatever.
Right. Right. A claims race, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
somebody buys it. Yep.
So, and
Well-
then with your fractional ownership, don't you share part of the proceeds on the
You
sale
do.
of the horse?
Yeah,
also.
once it sells, if you have own 10% and it sells for $1 million, you got $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in.
Hey, Rob, what are we moving on
That's
to
where I was
here?
heading to.
Yeah.
So our second cigar for the day is going to be the Oliva O. This is a Connecticut broadleaf over Nicaraguan binder and filler. A little bit more full bodied, a little more chocolatey. Thought this might be a good one to kick off the rest of our day with.
See your O face. Oh.
It definitely came through chocolatey right at the beginning, which is nice. A little bit of white pepper on the first retro,
Yeah.
which I really like. It's kind of an odd combination because normally, white pepper and chocolate is not something that I immediately go to.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a nice flavor.
This is leaning a little bit towards that new hot cake fresh out of the oven.
Right.
It's very, very similar to that cigar.
Did you say chocolate?
Which I came in and was working on, I think it was Friday. I was in here and I was working, and I had that fresh out of the oven. And sometimes I just assume that something is a little bit of a tighter draw. But I always forget, if I'm getting a tighter draw, I should double check my cut.
Yeah.
And I got about halfway through, and I had a little tar, and thankfully I didn't get it on my tongue.
Good.
Because if you get tar on your tongue, you're done. You might as well not smoke a cigar for 24 hours.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, it's awful. But the great thing was I saw the tar. I thought that
just lick
almost
it up.
has a little bit of tar note to it. And I looked and it was bubbling. And I just took it and I'm like, oh, well, I didn't cut it enough. As soon as I cut it, the whole thing opened up. And I'm like, well, shit.
There it is.
Yeah. I was starting to think man, this cigar is not as good as I remember.
Just squeeze it real hard.
Right, right? All these things, but
This cold draw
Don't
is
do
like jalapenos and chocolate to me.
nice.
Weird.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
bingo.
what it is. Maybe maybe it's not the white
got the
pepper.
spice,
Maybe
yeah.
it's more like the green bell or the green jalapeno
Yeah.
that I'm getting on the retro.
Finger peppers.
Might be a little bit of that habanero you had left over from last night.
No shit, man. We went to B-Dubs last night to watch UFC, and congratulations to Onkolov.
Onkolov.
He beat Pareda. That was a fight that Parade tried to avoid for more than a year.
Looks like he tried to avoid the fight in the
Yeah,
fight too.
it did look like it. It looked like he was afraid he was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the way it looked. I mean, there was only a couple really good blows landed out of 5 rounds, and Onklov had like 2 out of 3 of those, and both times, I mean, you saw Parade's eyes go a little bit wide.
Yeah, he kind of got rocked a little.
He did. So congratulations to Onklov, but I've been drinking beer all day. Like, I went and watched college basketball and was drinking Miller Lights, just some yellow fizzies. And then we go to the game, and I'm having Indy Fuel beers. And then we come back and go to B-Dubs, and I'm drinking beer. I'm like, man, I am just beered out. And I'm looking at their menu, and I remember tasting this because I happened to be at a B-Dubs when they launched this drink. It's a mango habanero margarita.
Ooh, I bet that was good.
It is spicy.
I bet that was so good.
I mean, it burned a hole in my stomach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I paid for it an hour after we got home. Yeah, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it was really, really good, and it just, after being beered out and kind of wore out and a really long day, I was able to make it through the last 3 fights by having one of those, and it was just like, man, having like something that's really kicking spicy, it just opens up all your blood vessels, and like everything just gets flowing, and you can get that extra hour that you need because, you know, the main fights, like the
Main
co-main
card didn't
events,
start
it's
till 10.
midnight. Yeah, the main
Yeah.
card doesn't start till 10, and the last 2 fights,
Well,
12 and
it's
12:30.
It's like you said, man. You've been drinking beer all day. At that point, you gotta have a palate change. Like
Yeah.
you
Oh,
can't,
yeah.
you can't keep rolling with that. Like,
No.
Yeah.
The only way you can do that is if you're out at the track. It's 85 degrees.
degrees hot.
Yeah,
That's
it's
'cause you're
hot and
burning
you're
through it.
sweating, and yeah, I mean you're not pissing all the time because you're sweating, right? And so you can just hammer down on those beers and it's no big deal. But
I tried that last year.
yeah. I try it every year. I try to drink all the beer. I'm like, how much beer is in Indianapolis? Because I think I can drink all of it.
We have a lot of it.
I-
Trust me,
we
you're not
did.
going to drink us out of Miller Lite. We have plenty.
Oh yes,
So,
yes.
Speaking of the track, you had Woodford Woody in here yesterday.
Yeah.
And,
Shout out Woody.
Woody was in here telling us about his recent trip down to Tampa, Florida, where he was at J.C. Newman.
Yeah,
is that
for the
right?
Newman factory, yeah.
And he was at an event where he was rolling. He got to roll.
No
some-
way.
Oh, that's cool.
It was crazy. He had a blast. Yeah, he was talking all about it and how difficult
Good
it
for him.
was, and he's like he sucks at it pretty much, but he had a blast.
I'd come out looking like an
And,
old school brew.
Yeah, it was.
Turd.
I swear, man. Every time he comes in, I love talking to that dude. He could just talk.
He's
talks
got
up
some
a story.
stories,
He's
man.
got some great
Yeah.
Yeah, he
stories.
does.
Such a good dude.
Yeah. So shout out Woody. I'm glad you shared that with us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be up there again in B-Stand Penthouse on qualifying.
Good old
I'm gonna
turnaround.
try to be
and
there
doing
with you.
some Woodford.
I don't know what that season's going to look like with Fever season starting because there's a game on Saturday. I do know that. So
Yeah, maybe we go
I
back
don't,
out and have another bottle of Discovery. And
I was
Yeah.
going to say, this time I won't send my daughter home with the tickets. So we can get back in.
oh, what's that, Jen?
Ouchie, wah, wah.
What was that, Jen? Huh?
Jen's giving us a three
I
finger.
I mean,
or one
between
finger, middle
Bushwhacker
finger
trying to
salute,
take a
whatever
dive
it
through the bushes, and
Oh, she didn't try.
she did, and then Jen deciding to make the drink out of the bottle and make it bubble. That
Made her
didn't go
bubble.
so well.
is. She pulled a Dan kid.
It was, yeah.
pulled
She
the
was
chugs.
also in the bushes, but she was doing something else over
Yeah.
there. Yep.
What do you guys think on this?
I haven't
first
tasted
ride?
it yet. The nose is throwing me off.
So it has got a beautiful spice to it. I really, really like this because it's. I mean, as soon as I took a sip, now admittedly, you know what, we've kind of transitioned through one to the next and going from a weeder to this rye. I mean, you're going right past bourbon and right
Yeah.
into like just spice bomb.
A lot of spice, yeah.
Yeah, very rich. Very.
Still got some sweetness underneath the spice,
It
which
does.
is nice.
It does. Yeah.
It's got that rye mint that hits you on the back end. So these are both MGP 95.5s. So
Always good.
it's very subtle.
Yeah.
It is very subtle. Has a great mouthfeel.
It does. It's actually, it's got a slight, I can't quite figure out if it's tannic, like oaky tannic, or if it's just a little bit of ethanol burn-off that's making it have a little bit of a slightly dry finish. Not in an unpleasant way, in a
Yeah.
nice way that makes you want to go back to it
It's just quick.
and drink a little more. Yeah. Yeah, but it does have a little bit of late finish on the back of the tongue on the sides, kind of that mouth water. Yeah, it's almost like your palate goes a little dry, and then
it hits you.
and then it starts watering.
I get
and-
some like grape candy notes on it too, kind of.
I was gonna say grape on the nose for sure.
Definitely get it on the nose, but
Yeah.
I'm looking for it on the palate. I can find it. It's gotta find. It's not as prominent as the nose, yeah. But
I feel like there's something in there that's kind of hiding in the back. I can't quite identify it, but it's just adding
what I'm
just a
sitting
little
here
bit of
pondering.
complexity and something that's a flavor that I'm not quite.
I get a nice like jalapeno powder on the retro.
On the retro,
Yeah. With these together, I see what you're saying about the cold draw now. Kind of getting like dried peppers. It's pretty. It's kind of throwing me off.
yeah, it's different. Yeah.
It
so
is.
onto the cut. What kind of cut did you guys?
I
use
went
on
deep
this?
V.
Deep V,
Deep
Straight.
straight.
I went really shallow V.
Okay.
So I was trying not to have it flower
Well-
on the end of it like my last one did.
I started off with a V, and mine was a little tight, so I went ahead and cut it down a little lower. That's the nice thing about a torpedo that has a pretty big cap on it.
Yeah.
You can usually go ahead and cut. I finally got it down to where it's actually smoking well. That's one thing with a torpedo, or any cigar for that matter. But
This one has a super
if you
deep cap.
if you
Yeah.
cut it, always use your own cutter. Don't use the shop cutters. But if you have your own cutter, cut a little bit off of it. If it's a little too tight, cut a little bit more until you get the draw you want. Like the cigar you were talking about
Yep.
yesterday, the fresh out of the oven.
Yep.
Same thing. Just get it to where it's drawing the way you like it, and then enjoy it.
And the reason we say don't use the shop cutters is not because the shop cutters are bad.
No.
But if you put a cigar in your mouth,
Yeah.
please don't use the shop cutter to cut it
Please.
again.
No.
Okay, other people are using that cutter. It's considered a community cutter. Use
Yeah.
good manners.
Yeah.
If you're
Shop
if
etiquette.
you're ordering like an appetizer and you're with friends, don't double dip. Right?
Lick it, put it
There
back.
you go. Don't double drip.
Pretty sure Mythbusters did, prove that to be false.
Yeah,
The
I
double
know. I think that's look. I do it out of politeness. If I'm with
I
my
know.
family and that's it, screw you. I'm double dipping. I'm triple dipping, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
you
gonna
don't
happen.
put your whole fingers in it.
Why not? Right?
Yeah. Lick
Make
the
it with
bowl.
my strong hand.
This is it's an excellent burn though. It's nice and
Yeah.
even and not drawing hot at all. It's,
That's Oliva.
Olivas, I don't pretty much only smoked like the Melania.
Melania series,
Yeah. And then we did the trip to Orange Beach, and they sent all those great cigars along,
Yeah.
and we
We
smoked
had
like
these.
everything.
Yep.
And it was like, man, Olivas, that's a solid
doing good.
line. All their lines that they have are pretty solid.
Well, Will and I were smoking one of the Melania Maduros the other day, and that thing, it's what the old Maduros when they first started coming out were like. It's the more medium body, just a little bit above medium.
Right.
But the flavor on it was really great. Not super spicy, but it's what you want out of a nice medium plus Maduro.
It's the Maduro
great
that goes
cigar.
against the kind of
The new
thinking that
grain.
happens in your head when you see dark tobacco.
It's- yep,
And you
yep.
think, oh, it's going to be full. And we've talked about it a lot where we said, look, you can't rely on the color to tell you if something is going to be full or not. It's there are some out there
It's
that
shade
there
to black.
if you want some nice flavor, but you don't want some of the aggressiveness that you'll get from some of the other Maduros that are out there.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like the knuckle sandwich Maduro or the 6-in-1 green. Those are going to be a little bit stronger. This
Yep.
one just like a super smooth Maduro.
Now there's some like the foundation line cigars, Olmec, Tabernacle, stuff like that. That like when you see that dark color, like that those are
This
full
means
body,
business,
full
yeah.
strength. Like
Those are the boys that created
Right.
the Liga line.
yeah,
They're going
so-
for that.
Yeah, Ligas too, But
Which
then
I'm not mad about.
You look at like Drew Estate's like Shade to Black that looks like a Connecticut, and it's super light, but
Yeah.
it does not smoke like that.
no.
Well,
And
that
it
was
is-
kind of like when
Packs
the
a punch, yeah.
when
Yeah.
the Perdomo champagne came out. A lot
I
of people
forgot about
said,
that
"Oh,
one.
that's super mild." To me, it's still only maybe a medium, but
Yeah.
some people say that gives me a head
That
buzz.
it's full, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it is more full for a typical Connecticut.
Sure.
Well, and that is obviously, kind of some of the discussion around full versus strength.
Right.
Right. And
Two
and
totally
having that
different things.
nicotine strength
Yep.
in the leaves. And I'm sure some of that probably has to do with where they pull them off the plant and a lot of stuff that I don't know. But
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you get some of those that really hit you with the nicotine.
Well, and that's like we have those cards in the humidor that have the strength level there.
Shrink the meter.
It's really not just strength. What I try to do on mine is I try to balance out the strength and the body. The body's more your flavor, the richness, all of that. I try to balance it out. So if it says full body in there, it may not be super strong, but it's going to have a ton of flavor.
Yeah.
Did you steal that whole concept from somebody?
No, those fuckers stole it from me.
Speaking of stealing shit,
You're not so
Terry Crews, you owe us residuals.
Oh yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
Even though it's-
speaking of residuals, we probably should pay a bill.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, let's do.
Do you want to pay a bill real quick before we talk about that? Yeah, you can't
do it this
That would have been cool.
That would have been awesome.
Untitled
Untitled Cigar is Indiana's exclusive Aladino Cigar Lounge. Come to Final Third for a selection of over 20 different Aladino cigars, including the Cameroon, a wonderful cigar with nice light flavors. Make sure and visit Final Third, the Aladino exclusive cigar lounge for Indiana.
No, thanks, Aladino.
Ah, thanks, Aladino.
Well, I
we'll get
do-
some new reads this year.
I'll say, while I do appreciate the Cameroon, I totally ad-libbed that line in there, and now every time I hear it, I'm like,
You idiot.
that kind of sounds stupid.
Yeah, we'll redo that.
Including
We'll
the
add oatmeal in
Cameroon.
We'll add oatmeal, yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, with a nice oatmeal flavor.
Hey.
And if you don't get oatmeal, fuck you.
And speaking
I'm
of
all for
Oliva,
Gridley. Go
we
fuck
had Dwayne out here this week.
Dwayne.
Great event with Dwayne of Oliva. If we next event we have, you got to get out here. He's a hoot, man.
Had Colt here too from
Colt
PAX.
came out from PAX, yeah. That
And
was
he
here
stayed
Friday.
right up till
Yeah.
everybody else was gone.
Well, you know, he was sipping on a few things on the bar, and I think he finished off with the brandy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that'll.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his wife drove home that night.
That's one where you should probably start with the brandy. Don't
Yeah.
end with it. I've
Yeah.
ended my night with the brandy a couple times, and I finally learned my lesson. I don't end my night with the brandy.
No.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to end on. I feel like
No,
if I
you're
tried
like,
to end on
you're
that, I
like,
wouldn't
I got a
taste
little
it.
bit of a buzz. Let's get some brandy. You're over the top.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're pushing the limits
142
there.
proof. That's good. I only had like 5 drinks before this. I'll be good.
I could fight a kangaroo.
Fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of kangaroo, Dwayne did bring kangaroo jerky out here. We were eating that too, and that was freaking delicious.
Also, speaking of kangaroo, March 23rd, we're going to do our Larrikin podcast with
Yeah.
the owners of Larrikin.
Joe, right?
Joe, yeah.
yeah.
He'll be joining us virtually, so
Yeah.
we'll get set up on that. YouTube's going to work that time, and we'll make sure that everyone can hear him.
And I really like that rye.
Yeah.
That one's good. So the
Yeah.
other ones are rye too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is
let's-
the other one
you wanna move
95.5
on to
as well?
number two? Yep,
Nice.
99.5. The only difference is 1 year older on the second one and a little bit more proof.
A little bit more proof. We like the proof. Oh. What else we got going on? What's the difference between the proof? Give it to me straight.
113.5 on that one,
113.5 on the first one.
and this one's 124.46.
Oh,
so
a little bit more.
That's
You're right.
definitely a
That
little
is a
bit
little more.
Maybe a little noticeable.
Yeah. We're going to try this one.
I'm getting some cinnamon on this one now.
On the first one? You still on the first one?
Yeah.
Cinnamon. Wow.
Cinnamon.
I didn't get that.
Just on the laying on the palate after the cigar. Yep.
So again, one of these bottles was my number 2, and the other bottle was my number 1. So
So after we finish this, we'll figure out.
see if you can
we
guess which one I picked. Yeah.
Which one did Becky like? Maybe we should go with that.
Yeah, we probably should bring Becky on the podcast. She seems to know more.
She didn't make that trip, but she was not on the pick team.
so funny at the fuel game last night. Becky comes back from getting drinks, and the previous fuel game, Will had gone to see Ari. I always forget Ari's last name.
Raheem Zadeh.
Raheem Zadeh.
Okay, Raheem Zadeh.
That
Thank
guy.
you. And
That guy.
Mike practiced.
was
that in
supposed
the
to bring
mirror
back a
for
drink
hours.
for Becky and did not bring a drink back. And so Becky last night, I always sit on the aisle and she hands me a beer and says, "Set this down. Don't show Will. Don't give it to him for 5 minutes."
Come on in, you're fine.
So she comes back and Will's like, "Where's my beer?" And he's like, "Shit, I didn't get you one. Sorry, I forgot."
I'm like, really, you dick?
I was trying to do a table slide.
It was pretty funny.
Lisa's drinking 124 proof rye out of a coffee cup.
Got to put it in your coffee.
Is that your black
With
rifle
the coffee? Is that with the black rifle? Just the residue. There you go.
I bet it's gonna be good.
I bet it will be too.
This one's got a pretty sharp nose on it.
You know, that's kind of funny. I was gonna say that I only took just one brief, sniff of it, but I kind of thought it was not quite
Really?
as aggressive as the last one.
I don't,
has a
I
lot
don't
of the
smell as
same
much
notes.
spice.
It's got
I
some
guess
of the same notes, but not. It's not the same.
I was going to say I didn't feel like the ethanol was as high.
No.
Like even though I
that.
know it's
a higher
proofier,
proof, yeah.
it didn't seem to have as much of the sting from the ethanol, which is always a good sign. That's always
Now the belch coming back up, you get a lot. No,
Yeah. I get, like, on this one, I get a lot of orange on the nose. Orange, some honey.
Oh man, and definitely on the palate.
I get honey on the palate.
I get the orange on the palate.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna say right now, this is your favorite.
I don't know. I'm gonna say
Well,
the other
no,
one.
no,
I'm
no.
gonna say
You're
the.
right.
I'm gonna say
No.
the first one is
This
because
is this
this
is
one's
my
sweeter.
favorite.
This is your
This
favorite.
his
The
favorite.
first would be his.
First. Yeah. He likes the spice more.
Yeah, I think the spicier one would be the first one for sure.
I feel like this one might be slightly more complex.
Have you ever eaten a raw honeycomb?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what this reminds me of. Not just like the honey part, like the physical honeycomb itself.
The
I get
wax.
I get a lot of rye spice on the finish though, on this one. Some pepper.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you?
Go.
What do you think, Will?
I get a little bit of that rye finish.
I think the finish is stronger on this one. Doesn't dissipate as quick as the other. And I don't get the same drying effect out of this one.
Way less tannic.
Yeah.
Totally agree. But that does now make me wonder if the other one is more oak tannic instead of ethanol.
Good call. That could be
Yeah,
it.
it's a possibility.
Could be.
Yeah. Sometimes
the
it's kind of
honey.
hard to tell,
hard to
you
tell
know?
sometimes,
Yeah.
So yeah, got to go like 3 sips, and then at that point,
We got to throw the first one out.
your tongue should be. But no, like you should be desensitized to the ethanol a little bit more by
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah.
I really like this one a lot.
So, Scott, which one do you think I picked as my number one?
1 or 2.
I think you probably.
Or two.
Yeah.
Three?
I'm going to say number 2 just because I know that to me this seems a little bit more complex, and I think that you appreciate complexity quite a bit. I'm not saying that it's. I'm not saying that like the general flavor notes are necessarily as much up your alley per se, but I think number 2.
All right, you say number 2.
I'm gonna say one.
Mike says 1.
I'm on 1.
1.
I'm kind of bouncing around a little bit now because I feel like after the third sip, I feel like the
Tame it
spice
down a
level
little.
has kind of popped up a little bit
Yeah,
more.
the spices has increased.
I do agree. I think the complexity is there too. So I'll split it down the middle. I'll go 2 as well, and they 2-1. So I think the rye spice you like better probably on 1, but I think the spice builds after the third sip.
So I vigorously fought for bottle number 2.
Oh,
Gotcha.
There you
okay.
go.
I loved it, and like
So
I
good.
didn't. I mean, 1's great, but like it wasn't my jam. But Ari was with me, Dawn was with me, and Fred came in to break the tie. And now, granted, on the other side was Fred's wife. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. Jacqueline was there, but Fred went with number 1 and broke the tie. So,
Okay.
that's where we're at. But so Ari and I basically hounded Mike at Nashville Barrel Company for literally 6 months. Well, I shouldn't say me. Ari did, but I did through Ari, and Ari kept hounding him. They finally released this barrel to us, the second barrel, and it didn't sell out with our club, but then they put it on seal box and it's gone. So
Yeah, it's
that-
really good.
I just thought this is a great
This is
ride.
delicious.
I vote number 2.
I think
Yeah.
if so, take a sip and do the Kentucky Chew.
Yeah.
Swallow like you normally do. Kind of let that finish roll for a few seconds. Close your mouth and breathe out through your nose.
Yeah.
And there is
Yeah.
some really nice additional notes that come through. I don't typically do that. I just kind of did it by accident. I was like, oh, whoa, what was all that? Like it just, I don't know why, but exhaling through the nose, it kind of just added a little extra dimension there.
I just like
Kinda
I love
brings a
this
little-
creamy orange on it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
It
do
is
too.
nice, yeah.
It's almost like an orange dreamsicle on a piece of bread. Like a really nice
Honey
rye
wheat.
bread.
On a honey wheat.
But then as soon as
I'm thinking
that,
like a
that,
marble
that,
rye.
that
Are
fruit,
you?
that
Yeah.
sweetness go, then you get blasted with spice on the finish, and the finish is what sold it for me. Honestly,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
love the way it finishes.
I'm getting marble menthol.
Marlboro 100.
Not Camel Crush.
Yeah, it's Camel Crush. That's what it was.
So anyway, yeah, both good bottles, but
They are both good.
yeah.
This one I think is definitely a little sweeter with some of that citrus notes on there,
Yeah.
and
Well,
like that
that's-
honey flavor.
That's almost
yeah.
what deterred me because I know he likes more of the
know, less-
spice over
less
and
sweet,
rye
but-
over the sweet.
But the finish on this one is
Yeah.
longer than the first,
I
for
think
sure.
that honey
Yeah.
almost comes out as a little clover.
Okay. I
I'm
can
with
see
you
that.
on that.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
see it,
a
but that,
slight little kind of floral clover.
I was gonna say clover or clover flower
I think clover flower.
because I have
think it's
noticed there's a
the-
big difference
the-
between the two.
Correct, and I think that this has actually got a slightly floral with the
Yeah.
spice. Yeah,
I think that's what I was kind of almost attributing to a honey or honeysuckle.
I think that's what I got on that exhale through my nose
Yeah.
was that slightly more floral
Yeah.
note that came through.
but Mike, like the jalapeno note we were getting on the cigar, I don't get it anymore. It's gone. Like with this one, I don't.
Yeah, the first one definitely had a different type of spice quality that brought out that like dried, really dry pepper note in
Yeah.
the cigar.
This
one
just
just
slides
went
back into more
way,
black pepper.
Way back into
Yeah.
black
Yeah,
pepper,
yeah.
kind
I
of leathery.
Yeah,
Motorcycles are showing up.
That barnyard that Rob likes to pick out of stuff is kind of
Yeah.
where it,
Yeah.
it brought back to me.
Yep.
On the retro, it really stands out. That little tinge of barnyard in the background.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah. See, now this
That's a good
this is-
pairing, actually.
This is why I thought this was your pick because
Yeah.
when you can keep going back and you're like, I keep finding things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's that complexity where you go back every single time and you're like, oh, there's this and there's that. And, you know, a lot of times you see these tasting notes on bottles and they'll write like 15 things. And you're like, that's
I didn't get
bullshit.
any of that.
So-
I got like 3 notes out of this, maybe. This is one that you
could pull a
you could
lot.
get a lot of those
So
notes.
Yeah.
the interesting thing I'll say about this pick is that when we got there, we were picking a bourbon and a rye. So the club basically got to choose. Fred went around and said, "You want bourbon or rye?" Well, of course, majority of people wanted to be on the bourbon pick.
Side,
Yep.
yeah.
But I knew these bottles, these barrels they were going to pull were going to be I mean, these were like 8-year bourbons. I knew these ryes were going to be 12-year, 11-year. I knew they were going to be special barrels. So I'm like, I look at Ari and I'm like, dude, I'm doing the rye. He's like, I am 100% too. And then I said, Don was like on the fence. I'm like, dude, they're like 12-year barrels. These others, he's like, oh, okay. So you had 3 guys on this pick that really are rye guys that appreciate these are special barrels. Then we had 3 other people that were kind of the leftovers that were, honestly, they weren't even in, some of them weren't in the club. They were guests, Fred invited, which is great.
Yeah.
But they had never been on a pick before. So they have not
tough.
really necessarily
Yeah.
rye drinkers. So shout out that they even picked the first one because I thought it was good, but they weren't going to pick this one.
Right.
Right,
And so that's what we were up against. And, you know, that happens sometimes on a pick. But
Well, the second bottle is definitely one that I would say goes better with the cigar. I feel like the complexity, all the different flavors, pull out different notes in the cigar.
It does change the cigar.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, because we were getting kind of that jalapeno, green pepper, white pepper out of the cigar right from the start.
Yep.
Right, and so it definitely impacted the flavor of the cigar more than the first.
It's mellowed out the retrohale to where it's actually just like a smooth retrohale now.
It's
smooth.
It doesn't want to bite
Smooth.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's real smooth.
it's real smooth.
Smooth. It's good stuff.
It does some magical things.
It does.
Hey, I will. In that case, you know, I think smooth is actually inappropriate because being able to retro, like, it can really just you barely retro and like your eyes just want to water.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and there's a lot of cigars that will do that to you aggressively.
This
right,
cigar
Macau
will
Fred,
do
the
that by
601.
itself.
And yeah, when we first smoked it, it absolutely had that
Yep.
capability.
Yep.
But I totally agree with you. It did smooth it out. It took all the bite out of it and made it where it just was an easy retrohale.
Yeah,
And you were able to pick out nice flavors. And
I forgot what we were
complexity.
drinking last week that was super bold.
Oh, right.
And then I retroed
You
to
retroed.
red, and my eyes just start watering. I was just like, it's so good.
Yeah.
So if you notice, the 2 bottles are labeled differently.
Yeah.
So the barrel that we picked, which was came out later, is under the Nash Tucky label. The first
the
one's
green
under
one.
Nashville Barrel Company.
Yeah.
I have a theory about that.
Okay.
So my theory is that, Mike at Nashville Barrel Company knows marketing pretty well because the Nash Tucky blend that they came out with was number 2 on Fred's Top 100.
Okay.
So why not label this barrel, which was a Club Marzipan pick, under the Nash Tucky line?
Nash Tucky line.
Instead of Natural Barrel Company line.
Absolutely.
Because this, everyone's looking for good Nash Tucky right now, right? Because it was number 2 on the top 100. So I was like, genius, man.
Little
That's
marketing.
what I would have done
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
day.
it's good
So-
Makes me think of that
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy movie where he runs for state senator in Florida.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah,
guy
yeah, yeah.
dies
The same
and he's
name.
got the same name. He goes and like gets all the materials and stuff from the senator's wife or whatever. And he had been screwing his secretary when he died, and she was like, "Take it. It's free. It's all yours."
Yeah.
Yeah. Who do we vote for? I think it's this guy.
I mean, that's
I voted for him
okay.
last time, yeah.
Again, that's my theory. I have no idea why they selected Nash Tucky to label on that one.
That's smart. Yeah,
Shout
very,
out to
very smart.
Trading Places. I haven't seen that movie in a while either.
Oh man.
Smart.
But,
Yeah,
that's a
that's
classic.
good old
I can
Dan
watch
Aykroyd
that
and
all the
everything.
time, man.
I love Dan Aykroyd. Let's talk tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
So I
a
did
good
find
segue.
I did find it interesting. Jack
Let's
Daniels,
talk
they
tariffs.
all the bourbon guys, they came out and said, "Oh, anti-tariffs and everything." And I don't want to get into if they're good or bad, but I did find it interesting. Jack Daniels is like 1% of our revenue goes to Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, 1% is a significant amount of money for a company like Jack Daniels, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's insignificant in terms of percentage, 1%, but that is a lot. And the fact that they've now ripped all the American spirits off
Well,
the
that-
shelf in all of Canada.
What cracks me up is
They
they're not
already
doing
bought
anything.
it.
Yeah, they've already paid for it.
Right. What
Yeah.
are you going to do?
They've
You're going
already
to just
paid
sit
the
on it? You're going
tariffs.
to give it away?
The
You
people
can't
are
send it back.
losing are all the bars and liquor stores up in Canada that can't sell American whiskey now.
Right.
Yeah,
they're
but, like,
buying way more bourbon than they're buying Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, because, I mean,
Because Canadian whiskey pretty much sucks.
yeah, pretty much.
But it's just amazing
Yeah,
how
this-
the government said that. It's like, oh, but we already bought that. Nope, sorry, take it off your shelf.
So what's the scene in Canada like with like Japanese and other imports? Is there still a good?
It's a lot of Scotch. I mean,
Is
I know
it?
they do
Yeah,
a
do
lot
they
of
do a lot of
Irish and
Scotch?
Scotch.
Probably going to be even more right now for a little
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
I was curious if they already had like a good selection of like.
I think they're
Scotch.
definitely into Scotch and Irish up there more and more. The
Okay.
single malts. Yeah, yeah.
Did
Here's,
we,
I mean-
here's the difference, though. America puts a bunch of tariffs on things, and suddenly it's real expensive. And some American entrepreneurs will go out there in 6 months, they'll have an operation up and running.
Yeah.
For whatever it is. I don't care what the product is, right? Somehow I doubt that there's going to be a whole bunch of American-style bourbon distilleries opening up in Canada.
No.
No, but you're right though, because the other people don't want to pay those tariffs, and some guy with money is going to move up there and then open a place that only
Could,
has
but
American.
it could,
whiskey.
but I don't know.
but
I
can
just-
it be bourbon if it's in Canada?
it can't be bourbon,
won't
but you
be.
could call it corn whiskey.
Or you call it bourbon
It's-
adjacent. You use the name as long as you're not calling
Can
it
you
bourbon.
call it a bourbon spirit?
Maybe.
You could call it an American
Maybe.
corn spirit, American corn whiskey. Like there's tons of ways that you could market it. I mean, American agave spirit.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we call it. It's tequila.
Yeah.
They make
Right.
tequila from maple syrup.
No, not. they
think
they
my-
probably can't do tequila in Canada.
It'd be
That's-
agave A.
Agave.
Right.
Agave A.
I think Mike and I are going to start a secondary site in Canada now.
I'm in.
We're going to rip ass. Man.
Yeah,
We're gonna,
I'm in. We'll sell horses and whiskey.
Perfect.
boats and hose. Number
Boats
two.
and hoes. That's what it is. It's prestige worldwide.
Boats and hose,
Blues and brews.
Glues and brews.
Canuck edition.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that there's anything that Canada makes that we can like only get from Canada.
Molson.
Yeah.
Molson Gold.
Molson, eh?
Molson.
Also can stay in Canada.
Labatt Blue, man.
La Black Blue,
said, eh?
baby. La Black Blue was the official beer of hockey for a long, long time.
That's the only shit my dad drinks.
Can
That
we-
and blackberry wine from
let's-
Starlight.
If we're done with tariffs, I'm gonna just bring up.
Moving
the
on.
fuel. Man, Lynch last night. The
Yeah.
dude was like out of his mind the way he played. I was impressed. I focused on him when he was when they were at that. I don't know what you call it, man, but when they put the puck down, they're getting ready to.
Face off.
Right. Yeah, the
face
face
off.
off. Yep.
Talking about the
He's
fuel.
in the back. He just turns to his left and just punches the guy square in the
Yeah, he
face.
did.
Knocks him down, and the refs didn't even see it.
No, they suddenly turn around. They're like, "What's going on?" They
Like,
have to
what
stop
happened?
the face off from
He
happening.
just looked at him, turned, and just punched it right in the face.
Yeah.
So we had two signings. It's now like the oldest guy and the youngest guy on the roster.
Okay.
Because we signed Tucker,
Yeah.
and Tucker got his first goal. Jesse Tucker got his first professional hockey goal last night,
Good for him.
which was awesome. Lynch got a goal, and it's like his third goal after a 4-year hiatus. He was apparently an AHL All-Star and had been retired for 4 years,
Okay.
and like we needed some veteran presence, and so we went out and signed him.
Dude had a great game, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
still
His
mad
ass
they
off.
took that goal from Bielik in the
Yeah.
third.
Yeah, kind of bummed.
Yeah.
It wasn't a dead puck.
That's
It
a
should've
good
counted.
call because Nathan McKinnon came out and he actually had, and I can't remember the exact wording he used, but he was saying, you know, Colorado, when they first started the season, they had a lot of young guys on the roster. And if you look at the roster from the first of the season to now, night and day, what they did was they brought some more veterans back onto
Veterans
the
back.
team, and he basically says that you can't win a championship with young players.
Yeah.
And
You
it
gotta
wasn't
have
like
veteran presence.
he wasn't dogging the young players. He was just saying you need experience to win a cup.
Well, young
And
guys
now
always
they're
gonna go
actually
nuts,
back
right?
to that level again. They're back to the level of being able to win a cup. It's like, yeah, you can't do it. I mean, look at Chicago. You got hellaciously great young talent, and they're still second to third in the bottom of the league right now.
Wow.
It's going to take some while to get that experience to be
Yeah,
able to play,
yeah.
win.
Well, I think the Fuel should be now, I think, tied for
They-
fourth.
They're in the wild card, yeah.
They're either tied. They're either
No.
in fifth with the tiebreaker.
They're fourth by
They're
themselves.
fourth by
They're
themselves.
fourth by themselves
Yes,
right
they're
now.
fourth by
Okay, because they got
themselves.
the 2 points.
They
got
jumped
the 2
last night.
points.
Yeah.
Hopefully they win today. Now, admittedly, the Thunder, Wichita Thunder, are the worst team in the league, I think.
Yeah, but damn it, Fuel almost gave that thing away again
I
towards
know,
the end. It's
I
like they were up
know.
what?
It's-
What they were up 4-1.
They were 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah,
It ended up being 4-3. And yeah, they got to finish games a little bit better.
they do. They do.
I watched Colin last night. He seemed frustrated at times, quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cameron seemed frustrated at times. I don't know.
I don't see Brian Lemos retiring because the guy just is so passionate about hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think age is catching up with him.
Yeah.
He seems to be in a little bit of a struggle zone right now. Maybe just a touch slow, a slight bit less coordinated. And Brian, not that you're watching this, but I love you, brother. Just, you know, as a
Yeah.
fan, that's the way it looks. It's like getting late in the season, and I know he's one of the older guys on the team, so I hate that. I really hate
Yeah.
seeing it because love him. His passion on the ice is unmatched by anybody. The guy is just, he'll skate so freaking fast
Yeah.
with the puck. I mean, pretty much faster than anybody else on the team. If there's somebody that needs to get it to the other end and get it there quick, Brian Lemos is going to be it. He was
Yeah.
here in the lounge one night.
Yep.
Really nice guy.
Super nice guy.
But yeah, I kind of feel like the end of this, maybe he's got some injuries, maybe, you know, some things that he's not talking about. But
They've got more offensive-minded players right now. Because, I mean,
They
you
have
saw
to.
earlier in the season, you saw Colin just blasting every puck he could. Now he's kind of stepped back and taken the role of trying of assisting or whatever. But you have Lynch and you've got Burke and you've got
Grima, and,
Greenville,
yeah.
Llewellyn, all those
Yep.
guys that actually can shoot the puck.
And Maximovich has been
Except
coming
Mac's
alive.
he's been crushing it the
he
last
has
few
been,
weeks.
yep.
So you got a lot more players who can play offense, and that's what they've needed because they have not been able to put up goals this year.
Yeah, and after that, you know, the Wichita, it's Wichita.
Yeah,
right?
Wichita
They
Thunder, yeah.
scored the first goal.
Yeah.
And, they were kind of just, you know, a little lethargic, a little slow start, and then once that happened, it just ignited them, and
Yeah.
they came flying around again and started playing pretty aggressive. And
Yep.
That's the one thing the Fuel had earlier on. I mean, they were the number one fighting team in the league early on,
Yeah.
by far. They kind of went away from that. They kind of stopped the aggression, and the aggression came back last night in the game.
they were more physical. They were the more
yeah.
physical team by
And
far.
it showed, and
far.
it helped offense because you know what? You start getting out there and get aggressive. All of a sudden, all the guys get excited. They start getting out there and they play harder. And I think that's what makes fighting good in
Was it
hockey.
Goudreau last night?
Yeah.
He
Actually,
came in afterwards.
Yeah, so Neaton was out there, and
got
then
hurt.
he got hurt, and he left. He
really?
wasn't even on the bench.
Yeah.
He did not come back out.
What happened to him?
So I don't know. Maybe look and see if Gray ends up being the
Yeah,
backup. and
I think
Gaudreau
Gray's going to be
starts.
back up tonight.
Yeah.
That's
well,
unfortunate.
Or Gray might start. Who knows? Goudreau actually probably is the guy. But, I mean, God, Gray's been
Yeah.
playing stupidly amazing
Well, you know
this
the
year.
Ice Hogs are going to push down to have Goudreau playing as much as possible.
And he should.
Because he's AHL, he's Ice Hogs contract. So
And he's also the youngest goalie in the
I'm
AHL
just,
right now.
I'm just kind of surprised that after the games that Gray's put out there, that there hasn't been a little bit of,
A push.
yeah, maybe something to say, maybe this guy needs a second chance.
Yeah.
right? Maybe he's not just kind of the backup and the coach that sits on the sidelines. Maybe that's just him. Maybe he's in a position with his life where he's preferring to be on the sideline.
Yeah.
And he's just doing, just enjoying it as kind of a little short-term resurgence. I don't know. I don't know Cam. Haven't met him before, so can't say for sure. But, man, he seems to be playing awful good when he's on the ice. It seems like it'd be a shame for him not to give it a go.
Yeah.
It definitely shows that he's a good coach because he plays such fundamental goalie hockey.
He does. He
And
really does.
He can actually put into action what he's telling his players to do.
He was not like that when he first joined the team.
No.
I think the coaching made
Helped
him a
him.
better player.
Yeah.
I think
Makes
it really
sense.
made him go back and focus on the things that he's been telling, the other goalies on the team and going, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I need to be more fundamental and not try to get out there. I will say, I think it was Goudreau took one right in the face. Like, it was perfect. He moved and got his face in the way of the puck on a shot, and it was awesome. I mean, he'd already blocked it to the right, and he managed to get over to the left and took one right in the helmet.
Cameron took one to the face.
Cameron did
last
take
night.
one to the face. He
Yeah,
was on the
dang.
ground, and
Speaking of taking it to the face, whoever got checked into the goalpost head first
oh my goodness, yeah.
and took out the
Yeah.
goalie and the goal.
That's what started
Yeah.
the fight.
That's what started the fight, which I'd get up swinging too after that. But I'm glad that his helmet took it and not his anything flesh.
Yeah.
Because that would have seriously done some damage.
Yeah.
That was a hard hit.
Can you hand me that Nash Tucky? I ran out, and that was really good. I think I'm gonna have
Go back
another-
to it.
Another little sip of it here. Thank you.
Will's number one.
Well, speaking of hockey, while he's pouring, anybody that didn't see the Brad Marchand interview, you need to go back and watch it.
I was gonna say I haven't seen it yet, but
I
I've
haven't
heard
seen
about
the
it.
interview, but I saw some commentary on it.
He ripped Sweeney a new one for the trade deal, and it was
That might be the reason why
hilarious.
they got rid of the number one player on their team. Might have been a little animosity going there.
He's like, everything I've done after I set Toronto on fire, and after I did this and all this time with the team, and then they're going to trade us to our fiercest rivals. Basically, it was just to go F yourself straight to Sweeney on the interview. It was hilarious.
Wow.
So I see Thomas Anderson was asking us about what we're smoking and drinking.
What are we smoking and drinking?
Thomas, we're smoking the Oliva O,
Yep.
and we are drinking the Nash Tucky 12 Rye.
I think this Oliva O was our beach choice, wasn't it?
I think
we
it
ended up
was.
taking
One
this
of
down
them.
to the beach quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
down in Orange Beach.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was our beach cigar.
Yep. One of the 5.
Yeah.
We smoked a lot of cigars.
We did.
We took a lot.
We took a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't bring a lot back. We took a lot.
No, he didn't. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think we took 120 cigars,
I think we brought 20 back.
maybe.
Well, that's what the
around
shop
there,
took.
yeah.
We each brought our own too.
Oh yeah, you guys brought your
Yeah,
own
we brought
too.
our own,
Yeah.
So
We didn't go
smoked
through too many.
quite a lot.
A lot, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you do on vacation.
Yeah, I mean, sit
Yeah,
on the
I need
beach
that
and
again.
smoke cigars. It was-
Do you have any more of the Melania sample boxes?
Sold them out.
Yeah, they
Sold
had.
out.
I got the last one.
If people want those, it's a 6-pack Melanio sample. You got some Maduros, you have some the regular Melanios. It's the only way you can get the Lancero in each one of those. Great pack. I mean, $79, something like that, for 6 cigars, which then brings the price of the Melanios down quite a bit.
Yeah.
Great packs. They just didn't sell well, but Dwayne came in here and rocked it and sold them all. So
Yeah, I got the
You're
last one.
kind of low on sample packs at the moment.
yeah, actually, that good call.
It is empty.
Good call. So, reach.
Stretch.
So I've got a pack I'm putting together this weekend, and it's going to be the limited edition pack. This is a $100 value. We're going to be putting it out there for $69.99, so 30% off. It comes with the La Galera, You're the Dragon. It comes with the Pice Anastasia from Osner. It comes with the Mil Diaz 2023 edition of the Marinito. MBK Lizard King, which is an event-only cigar, and an Aladino, the original Aladino Candela.
That year, the Dragon's like a, what, $25, $30 cigar by
alone.
Yeah,
itself?
about 30 something.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
$29.99.
Yeah. So that's going to be available
That's a
starting
killer
this
pack.
week.
Yeah.
It's got 5 different brands in there. So it'd be a good pack for you to come out and get it. But yeah, we're going to be getting some more sample packs together for people to try.
Cool.
I say if you've got somebody that's like their birthday, you're looking for a gift for somebody, that would make a really nice one. If
great
they're not
pack.
like they smoke occasionally,
Yeah.
right, and you want them to learn more about cigars because it is all these different manufacturers.
Yeah.
I love sample packs like that.
Yeah.
It's fun to have sample packs that are all one manufacturer and you get like different lines or different
Right.
years.
Right.
Like we did the Las Calaveras pack.
Right.
But I love sample packs that have all different manufacturers.
And these are all going to be in that medium range on strength.
Yeah.
Some of them have obviously like the Pice Anastasia has a ton of flavor, and the Mil Diaz does too. All of them have good flavor, maybe a little bit more flavor, but they're all going to be medium in that strength level.
I love those pies. Those are so good.
They're so good.
Man.
Yep.
That's a solid pack.
I'm just curious if they're coming out with a pie this year.
I haven't really paid attention that much.
I haven't
to them,
either.
so-
I think we smoked a Lizard King a couple podcasts ago when Rob was not well. and-
Could be. It was definitely
That
on that in their
sounds-
brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did.
Yeah, it was when you were
Dissident.
sick and you were out. We did that one
We
in
did
the
a
MBK.
Dissident.
Dissident,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dissident first.
Oh, that's dissonant. That's a different.
we
Scar-
did. No, we did that
Oh,
one
yes,
first.
okay.
We did that one
Come on,
first.
Will.
and then
I
went-
can't
Second-
even
yeah.
remember when we drank something on the podcast 3 weeks earlier.
So that might be right. So you finished with that one.
Yeah, we
probably.
finished with
Yeah.
that one. We started with the Dissident.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
that Nash Tucky. I'm gonna hit that one.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I'm just gonna start eating coffee.
I kind of
now.
wanted to go back to the Penelope, but then I was like, man, after having that Nash Tucky, I'm like, that's got the flavor that I like.
That's
Want
good
to hit?
stuff.
Want to hit another one of our commercials?
Nope.
No?
Damn it, Mike.
Nope. Nobody's paid us.
Yeah, we gotta get
That's
dead.
it.
Gotta get Deadwood.
Aladino. Oh yeah.
You got to get Deadwood
Gotta
in
get
there.
Deadwood.
Come on.
He paid us early.
Hold on.
Thank you to sponsor Deadwood Live. Derek with Deadwood Live is producing top quality live edge products as well as bourbon themed furniture. If you've been in the lounge, you've seen the custom live edge table and barrel stools produced by Derek. Be sure to give him a like and follow on Facebook at
I feel like
Deadwood
Thomas
Live.
was
That's
drinking Four Roses
Wood Live.
last time too, wasn't
Yeah,
Call Derek for his wood.
he? Yep.
I'm now debating on my bar top that I'm building this bar
Go
out.
live.
You gonna
So,
call Derek?
so
Yeah.
I talked to him about that last night.
Yeah.
He was here. And you're looking for a 14-foot bar, right?
Yeah,
He's got a 13.5-foot slab right now.
does he?
I told him, I said, well, you guys need to probably talk before you start doing something with it. It might be what you need.
Hey man, I got 4 pieces of really good plywood.
Oh yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, okay.
It's a little wet. It's been in the yard.
Well, I saw this these
treated.
these I don't know, metallic colored resin tops.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Man,
Pricey.
those things are super cool. Are
The
they
concrete-
pricey?
Pricey.
The concrete bars are cool too.
They are, but they're
Some of
cold.
them are.
I'm
No, you put this coils down there, man. Heat them up in the summer, in the winter, and literally it's just running water through it. You run water through it, and you have hot water during the winter and cold water in the summer.
Only if it's flowing.
All you,
I don't know. It's
Just pee
yeah.
in it.
I
Pretty
just gotta
cool.
figure it out. I don't know. It's a million different decisions, but the bar top is one of those things that's like
that's there
that's
for life.
that's a hard decision.
Yeah.
It's you start looking and you're like, man, there's a lot of cool bar tops out
There
there.
are.
And yeah, so I don't know.
Well, he's going to talk to you.
Okay, good. I need to hit him up. I'll hit him up on Messenger or whatever and ask about that
I'm
because
sure
I
he
do
has
like
number
that
for you.
that live edge stuff.
Contact him at DED Wood Live.
There you go. Oh, thanks. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I don't hear that commercial.
Do you want me
every
to run
week,
it again?
so you run it one more time.
So you can get his contact info. We know how to get a hold of him.
So don't let the post
Ow.
third anniversary hangover hit you.
Yeah.
You know, don't just disappear on us folks out there. Make sure
Yeah.
and
Well,
come
and-
back in. There's plenty of events going on coming here in the spring, and
Yeah.
I know PCA in April, so there's going to be a lot of new cigars that
New
are hitting the
releases
shelves.
coming
Yep,
out.
yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're hearing this, live, or you're hearing it tomorrow. But this week coming up, it's going to be beautiful. Be great.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Yeah,
time to be
60s, 70s.
outside.
Patio
Come hang out
will
at
be
the
up.
garden.
You're going to get the rest
Yep.
of the patio furniture out from under the cover.
Yep.
and-
Yep.
I kind of figured it's 60s.
Either tomorrow or Tuesday we'll have it out.
Yeah, they're saying 60s. Well, you're not open tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about that.
But I'll be here, so.
Yeah.
Do you want a
Somebody's
couch?
gonna get that.
Do you want a wicker couch? It's an
No.
L-shaped couch.
But thank you for asking, but no.
I don't know what to do with it. Do you want it?
Wicker burns.
It actually works good on a fire.
Yeah, I was say wicker burns.
Jen's saying no, you can't give that away.
Oh, never mind. I'm giving it to Grant.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
Grant's gonna
okay.
You can't have it, Rob. Too bad. It's already taken.
Okay. Darn it.
Grant's getting ready to call in. Please, that's
It's
fine.
like, what the hell?
Grant moves into his new, takes possession of his house this week, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's supposed to
nice.
close on Friday.
Yeah, close. He's gonna close
See,
on
I've
Friday.
driven by a few times. It looked like it was really
It's-
close.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go crash it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Good,
my sisters and my mom, their company built that house, and
Yeah.
it was kind of funny because I guess Grant and his dad were doing the final walkthrough, and they opened up a closet in like the master bath or something,
Did the door
and
handle
they're
fall
like,
off?
"Isn't there supposed to be some shelves in here?" And my sister Beth was there, and she's like, "Yeah, I guess we just forgot them." I mean, it's just like, something that takes 15 minutes to install. It's like a couple wire shelves that
Yeah.
go in, but it's just kind of funny. Like, you got a million things to build a house,
Oh, yeah.
right?
That's why you do a walkthrough.
That's exactly it. And they caught it. They're like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that." So
Good
it was
for
just
him.
kind of funny. But yeah, that was it. Out of the entire house with him and his dad doing the walkthrough, that was the
Oh,
only
good.
thing they found. So
Good deal.
yep. It's a nice place, and he's gonna be what, half a mile?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
It's really close.
Oh, Lisa wants to come in.
I just had a special request wanting to know when we're going to start serving Bloody Marys.
Oh,
That is a good question.
So I
Waffles
told them
too?
that this group really loved Bloody Marys.
100%.
And so I would pass the word along that you have to start working on it.
Yeah, we'll get it.
oh yeah.
All I got to
Yeah.
do is order the mix
Order some mix
and
and
some Worcester and A1.
Some water.
Spicy,
W sauce.
spicy
Yeah.
pickled vodka.
Yep.
dude, oh my goodness. The spicy pickle vodka, and then
Yeah.
holy shit, the green beans.
Oh, pickled
My
green beans.
goodness, there
Yeah.
was these pickled green beans down at the Omni, right, in Louisville,
Yep.
where they were selling, what was it, $150 or whatever, 1.5 ounce pours of Eagle Rare.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Great
it
price. Yeah.
was crazy.
Totally
Yeah.
worth it.
It was weird. They had Old Forester barrel pick, and it was like $12, and then Eagle Rare was like $150 or something like that.
wow.
But they did, yeah, because they can. But
Maybe,
they did their own pickled green beans, and these things, there was a perfect balance of pickle and sweet and spice. I mean, they just had like a barrel. They were like, yeah, we just make this pickling liquid, and we just throw all these fresh green beans in, and let it sit for a
Interesting.
week or whatever, and then that's it. They just serve them out for their Bloody Marys. I mean, they gave us like a whole bowl of them because we were just snacking on them.
Maybe that should be your Sunday podcast live thing. Is Sunday is Bloody Mary morning.
Should be.
So
Just do Bloody
yes.
when you
Marys.
were
Bring your own waffle.
when you were out, when you weren't feeling
Just
well,
not
you were
blue.
out for that week. Will and I were in here, and I think it's the Cornerstone rep came in with the pickle vodka.
It might have been.
Because you and me, Lisa, we were back here,
Yeah.
and Lisa was here, and we tried it. And he had a pickle vodka and a spicy pickle vodka, and that would be.
I don't even like pickles, but
It was
the
great.
regular
Good,
pickle
man.
vodka was good.
Okay.
That would
But
be
that
worth grabbing a
spicy
bottle,
pickle
Rob.
vodka
Alright.
was totally
I'll
what
have
you
to
need to
find
put
that
in there.
paperwork he sent. So yeah, I'll have to look at that.
Getting that balance between like the tomato sweetness, getting the right spice level, getting a little bit of that pickly vodka, and then some of that kind of almost, I don't know, I call it beefy, kind of the Worcestershire A1, that kind
Umami.
of foundation. Umami,
Umami.
probably, yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
like
if
getting
you're
that
just
right
doing
balance.
Zing Zang and Tito's, you're not doing Bloody Marys
I want
right.
fish
No, you're
sauce
not.
in my.
So,
Hey,
sauce in my
hey,
Bloody Mary.
fish sauce is
so
legit.
something we'll probably have to like play around with a little bit too, because Alan Bishop makes this aquavit, which he uses for all of his Bloody Marys, and actually works really well.
I bet that's really
So
good.
we'll have to try that, and maybe we do like a 1 ounce of that, 1 ounce of the pickled vodka, and see what it does together. So we might have to actually
play
drink a
around.
few to
We'll
figure
do
it
a-
out.
I got to
do a
get out of
couple.
my head. I think of Aquavina every time you say that. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to splash a little cooling aftershave.
Yeah, splash on your face.
Not that. Not that.
All right.
Well, speaking of $150 in events coming up, I don't know if anybody saw Crafters is doing the up in 146 at Carmel.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow they're doing was it the 10th? Is that
No,
tomorrow?
it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is the 10th.
Yeah.
No, say tomorrow's the 10th.
10th.
They were
Tickets
doing
still
the
available?
Rabbit Hole single barrel release party.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Wow.
Will's
100
going.
I'm going.
It's $150 per two person.
If anybody wants to go with me, I might go with you. We'll split it. You get a bottle.
Yeah, you get a bottle with purchase,
We'll split the bottle.
and then they have appetizers and miscellaneous stuff available.
Yeah. So I don't know if
During
you guys are
the
available or not, but let me
Specials
know.
on pours. I'm sure
I'll
they'll
be in
everybody
St.
try
Louis.
it.
Got you. You will be gone.
I'm out.
Let me know. I'll have to let you know what time
Fighting
I
a
get
good
off
fight
work.
Let me know later today if you
I,
can.
I thought it was almost sold out when I looked at it before, but I'm not sure if it is.
It
now,
wasn't
but-
sold out when Will and I looked the other day.
Yep.
But-
But our buddy Steve Straving was on that barrel pick with Crafters, and he says it's a great barrel. So
Cool.
definitely.
But yeah,
look
that
forward.
hit my feed, and I
And if you
jumped on
look,
that to
honestly, the single barrel the rabbit hole single barrels are usually going for around 100,
Around
or a little
$100
over
anyway,
100,
so
100, 120. So it's a pretty
Good
good
deal.
deal.
25
Yeah.
bucks a person plus
Basically
the bottle.
buying the bottle and getting a bunch of pours and hors d'oeuvres.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
That's a good deal.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
I'm not going.
Where is Crafters?
146 and
Caramel.
31, I think, in caramel.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I know I'm a little bit ahead of you guys on this cigar. I'm down to the final third, and I will say the retro keeps getting lighter and lighter. It's just really, really nice.
This one does seem to go in reverse, doesn't it?
It's odd.
Yep.
I mean, normally they pick up, and it is really different with this one. The fact that it just transitions to a really soft retro.
I agree.
Yeah, more the deep pepper notes and barnyard and
Yeah.
all those elements.
They
Good
stand
stuff.
out a lot in the retro.
Yeah,
The barnyard and everything else.
yeah. It's a really
Solid.
nice kind of complex blend on that retro. The further you get into it.
Yeah.
Leave is always solid, man.
They really are.
Yep.
It's great that I don't
Really
have to
solid.
sit here and keep rotating it because we're not sitting in the
Yeah.
Right. We're
Yeah,
not
windy
out on the
beach.
beach. Yep.
Well,
Smokes a lot
we
better
were
indoors.
talking about maybe doing this outside this morning, and I kind of wimped out on that.
We got vetoed.
Yeah.
Was.
yeah. Well, I appreciate the
Well,
load.
I didn't have the short chairs out there. You can't do it on those tables.
No.
The
I
tall
do
tables.
appreciate the comfy seats today.
Yeah,
Thank you.
this was kind of
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, there's a little change of pace down here, and yeah,
I
it
kind of
worked.
like this setup. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
We could do this. Well, hopefully we'll be able to move back outside eventually when it gets a little warmer. So
Next week
yeah, well,
might be. Well, no.
Well,
next
next
week
week,
we'll be at
next
Harrahs.
week during the week, and then I think it goes to shit again.
sweet.
Oh, does it?
Love that.
Yeah, like 7 days out. Yep. Yep. Man.
We are in March. I mean,
Yeah, we're in the sectionals.
that was
boys
part of the reason
sectionals,
why the
so
patio's not been set up yet. It's like we know there's another ice storm coming or something.
there'll be at least an inch of snow
fucking say
that.
at some point.
Oh no,
It'll
we will.
happen.
We will.
I'm heading. I gotta get out of
Sectionals
here.
around here.
I'm heading to the Big Ten Women's Championship today.
Are you
Oh,
going to
nice.
this?
Who's playing?
I don't
It
know.
is USC and UCLA.
There you go.
You're not doing today?
I'm not working
USC
today. No,
and
my,
UCLA in the Big Ten
Yeah.
championship.
Isn't
my
that
boss
stupid?
is my boss is doing today's game, so I took today off. So
What
good
is
for you.
going on in the world? You know,
Yeah.
Alabama beat Auburn yesterday.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
didn't Auburn get beat twice this week? I thought I heard someone say they got beat earlier in the week and then they got beat yesterday. So they're
I don't know, but they
were number
Alabama
one.
may have gotten. I mean, you know, it all depends on the championship.
that should move them into a
But they
top
might be
seed.
a top seed. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
it does depend on what they do in the tournament.
Right.
It always does, right? But they should be pushing for a top seed. It's going to be an interesting year for the March Madness tournament,
Oh.
man. It's
This
gonna be
year
fun.
could be wide open.
Yeah.
It really,
Really
could. This is going to be one of those years where you might get a 12 seed popping into
but
the
seeing
Final Four.
you know Tennessee, Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky is normal, right? But you're just seeing some of these schools that you don't normally see up there in the top. I don't know why I
Yeah.
said Kentucky; they're always up there in the top. But I
Yeah.
was just thinking of Southern schools, which you know, there's not many Southern schools that typically do great in basketball.
Yeah.
It's not like a common thing. What is there, like 7 or 8 teams out of the SEC that
Yeah.
are going to make the
Yeah.
tournament?
Well, we were talking about that. It's almost like the flip flop between basketball and football.
Right, because
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
Ten was, I mean, not that Big Ten is bad at football, but SEC tends to dominate
Yeah.
compared to the Big Ten.
Yep.
And yeah, you got, you know, Michigan and Michigan State. Sorry about Michigan. Looks like they probably had a rough day
lost
today.
by 17.
Ouch.
Man.
Ouch.
But Michigan
Yeah.
State, you know, always up there.
They're good. They're good.
But Wisconsin got beat by Penn State yesterday.
It's crazy.
Well, and
By
I
a
mean,
lot.
And really, a couple weeks ago, it looked like IU was just going to fade off into nothing. And then they
Yeah.
beat Purdue.
Yeah, by
beat
a
Ohio
lot.
State yesterday. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, they're back in it. They're
Crazy.
going to make the tournament.
If you ask
this
me,
year,
they still
probably.
don't deserve to be in. They're just that Purdue game. They played
may
really
not,
well.
but
They
they're gonna
did
be a low
not play
seed.
yesterday against Ohio State until the last 5 minutes.
No, they did not.
Yeah, they in fact played very
Well, they were down
poorly
by
for the first
15.
half.
Well, are they
Win
going to have
by-
to play? They may have to play to get in.
I bet
might.
They
They
might.
might.
But if they win one game,
They're in.
right? Yeah, because they're at 19, so they'll hit 20 wins if they win one game in the Big Ten tournament. And I don't know who they'll open up against. That'll be interesting to see with just a couple of the last games that have
I'll let you know.
happened.
I'm doing that game, or I'm doing those games next week too. I got 4 or 5 of those games that I'm doing next week, so I'll be directing.
So Big Ten starts Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Wednesday to Sunday again.
Cool.
Championship
Here we
and all
go.
that. So
March Madness is starting up.
kicking up. I just hope these games are better because every game that I directed this past week on the women's tournament were blowouts. Which is good because I didn't have to stay for overtime, but like it's
Yeah.
tournament time. I want to see close games. I want to see really
Yep.
good contested games. USC won by like 20. UCLA beat the hell out of Ohio State by like 40 points.
That seems to happen a lot in women's.
It's like, come on, man. Like,
This
It's
coming
like-
from the non-sports guy.
shut up.
yeah.
The supposed non-sports
Yeah,
guy. That's not
supposed.
true at all.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
at
Whenever
all.
he talks, the more I'm just over
Oh,
here
yeah,
doing
he's
that.
totally-
I'm not a sports guy.
Yeah, he wants to sit over there and go,
bipartisan.
let's go sports team. It's like, you're full of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just happy that I was in my element with college because the NBA side of it is new to me. The
Yeah.
college part is not. So like
Yeah.
everyone else is like used to doing just Pacers, not both
Yeah.
teams.
The
And they're-
Pacers lost
and I'm like,
lost a heartbreaker
Well, now-
last night.
I know to Atlanta. Yeah,
Atlanta.
sucks, man. 2 in
yeah,
a row.
Yeah, I mean, Mike's spitting out stats on Mad Ants players now.
I know,
They
yeah.
traded
works
Kyle
for 'em.
Mangus.
Yeah.
They traded Kyle Mangus. Come on, man. We got Boogie now though. So
I don't know. I think we can all become fans of women's volleyball, though.
I mean, that's my favorite sport. The Igniter's still doing pretty well.
They're doing well.
They're doing okay. They've lost a few tough games.
They
but
started off a little stronger, but they're
Yeah.
they're still in it.
I got my Fisher's Freight tickets.
There you
Nice.
Just populated into my portal.
When
so
does that start?
End of this month.
Wow, already.
Yeah,
Holy
already.
crap.
That's at the event center.
So is
Yep.
it going to be over?
Yep.
It's going to be overlapping.
It overlaps.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be after.
Nope.
Now that's
no.
going to move to the Noblesville Center once it's done, correct?
I don't think
Not
so.
that I know of. I'm
No,
pretty sure that
I'm
one's
pretty
staying
sure
at Fisher's.
that's it's
No,
a
they're
Fisher's
freight.
event.
Yeah, it's Fisher's
Yeah.
Freight.
It's
So
the Fisher's Freight.
they're
Yeah.
they're staying there. As far as we know, the G League is the only one going up there for sports, and maybe like high school. You know, whatever Hamilton school district
but
stuff.
I mean, dude, they play the Fisher's Hamilton Southeastern game at the Fisher's Event Center.
Oh really?
Oh, they charge like $40 a ticket.
Shoo.
Wow.
It's crazy,
Dang.
and it's sold out.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there's your sports for the week. We had
Yes.
cigars. We had
Yes.
bourbon.
We
Will's
did all
got to
the
go to the
things.
championship.
I gotta roll.
So
Yep.
let's wrap this up.
All right.
We're gonna get out of here.
Heine, where can they find you, buddy?
Moto Photo Will on Instagram.
Boom. Find me at both the visuals, Spencer Leeds, and don't forget to follow the Final Third podcast.
You can find me at Scotty D Smokes.
Find me at Cocky Wolverine.
And I'm everywhere. Final Third Cigar. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening in. We will see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Everyone.